अब आ रही होगी आवाज, आई थिंक. हेलो हेलो, साउंड चेक. आ गई साउंड? नहीं आई. चेतन जाट जी, आर्यन सिंगला, अनडिस्प्यूटेड लेजेंड आ गई. अभी भी नो कह रहे हैं. डेरविन, या. Hello and welcome to the Inside Indian Football episode number 99. We are back after not a so cool break of 1 week. Last Thursday, India was playing Iraq, and at this time, India was leading Iraq 2-1. Before that, late equalizer from penalty spot, questionable penalty, and India conceded that penalty, and the match went to penalty shootout, which we lost. So that's the reason the Inside Indian Football did not take place last week. Then I thought I can try and do it on Monday, Tuesday maybe, but Monday, Tuesday, Sunday India was playing again, and Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday was very tense for Indian football. There's so many stuff to talk about. There's so many acquisitions. My name is dragged, saying that I have a agenda against Indian football team, which is very surprising that, how much time and of my life, how many years I've spent for the betterment of Indian football team, which is, and issue is, I will come to those issues. Those statements made me on Twitter also. People feel that I'm running agenda. I'm not running agenda. Only thing is somebody have to present the actual picture that what's going on. And my job is to bring all the facts, good, bad about Indian football. Sorry, I can't do the sugar coating, because I have seen Indian football from last 2011. It's more than now nearly 13 years since I'm involved in Indian football. So I think important for me to let people know, commoner know what's going on, and if something is wrong, practice wrong by AFF, by Indian football team, by ISL clubs, by ISL, by FSDL, I will be first one to raise those questions. And this is 99 episode of Inside Indian Football. There is problem with people. They just go on Twitter, on these aggregators, and they just listen to a particular statement, which they put it out, not out of context sometimes, but a statement without explanation with my name, and they think I'm running an agenda. No, I'm not running an agenda. You have to come and watch the video, or if I've written something, read it properly. If you have not watched my videos properly, you would have never said that, I'm running an agenda and I'm just want to posting against the coach. Igor Stimac, the Indian football team, we as an organization have done our best to support wherever India has gone. In last 4 years, every venue in India, even outside, we have sent our video man, cameraman, photographer, reporter to just report about Indian football team. That's not true for ISL games, by the way. Our cameraman was there in the Thailand for the Kings Cup. Even the Indian coach, Indian team didn't came for the post-match press conference. Our cameraman was there. They recorded the press conference of the opponent team. They recorded the training video of the Indian team just for the Indian football fans. Yeah, we have been doing this for last, I think, since 2019, which is 4 years. And if we have any agenda against Indian football team, which is untrue, we would have never done that, right? We will do it for every ISL game because people feel that we are promoting ISL. We don't do it for ISL, we do it for Indian football team. We have gone to our limits to cover Indian youth teams, Indian football teams by spending money from our own pockets. Those videos, those coverage does not give us anything. It's not even going to give you the enough money for the one-day stay in Thailand, Bangkok, or anywhere Indian team is going for the hotel stay, not even one day. So, and then people come and throw very softly, hiding behind those random Twitter IDs that we are running an agenda. We are not running an agenda, and everybody knows the amount of coverage. And somebody on this chat only, I think Hirinder ji हैं, काफी पुराने हैं. Hirinder ji ने बोला कि भैया हम लोग Stimac ji ke against hai. Igor Stimac, each and every press conference he has done since he came in India, you will find that video on KNTV TV, you will find that article on KNTV.com. Even any tweets Igor Stimac had done, you will find those tweets, articles on KNTV. If we have to do anything against the coach, we would not cover when he say good thing or bad thing about India. Even when he said that statement that I have not come India to lick dash dash dash, we have covered that also because that's his interview, his word, and again, if you guys don't want us to speak the truth, don't bring the actual picture. अगर आप cloud में रहना चाहते हो, cloud number 9 एक गाना है Bryan Adams का, it's a one of my favorite singers of all time. There is a cloud number 9, there's a song from Bryan Adams. If you want to remain on that, don't want to know the actual story, तो आप मत आइए. And especially अगर आप ये videos नहीं देखते हो inside Indian football, and this is to aggregators also. They aggregate lots of content from these episodes, lots of big news They have grown their own Twitter handles, on Instagram handles, and I have no problem doing so. I have only one request: give the context of what I'm saying, give the link of the videos where you're taking the quotes from, because people sitting on those platforms, they don't know. They start throwing and coming on my DM and start throwing those messages, and it does not work, because Indian football is very close to my heart. And as it is very close to my heart, it is very close to Khelna heart also. Khelna was built on Indian football. We launched this platform just by doing Indian football for 3 years, and as Indian football story grows, Khelna story grown. We added more sports. We added more sports, different languages and everything. Now we are adding mobile apps. We have given break to so many professionals in Indian football through our platforms, and and we're still doing so, and we're very happy to do so. So I think it's very very lame to come and say that I'm just presenting a one half picture. If Indian players' passports are taken away, should I sit with that information with me, and and sit with me and don't tell anyone? When players are calling and they're saying they don't know where the passports are and they're not happy with it, if the players are not happy with it, who are the biggest stakeholder of Indian football? Fans? No. Clubs? No. AFF? No. Igor Stimac? No. It's Indian football team players. It's Indian footballers. If they are not treated properly, I am the one who raised those questions of the daily allowance of the players when they were getting 600,000 rupees, 1500 rupees. Now they're getting 1500 rupees. I have the one raised the questions when those daily allowance was not given to these players. I was the one who raised those questions when the COA and the advisor was happy to get India banned. I was the first one to raise the question: India getting the ban is a big negative for Indian football. It will hammer our progress if we get the ban. Then only that momentum got picked up on Twitter and everything. Then people started raising question against COA, against advisor, that why are you getting us banned? So I think it's very simple. In ISL, we are the one who broke the story of Hero not sponsoring ISL. That's a negative story about ISL. On the media day of ISL, we broke that story. I worked on that story for 1 month to find out the information, to reach out to Hero, to reach out to FSDL, to reach out to AFF. Nobody came on record to give it the statement. Ultimately, story got published. Then the Hero came on and said, of course they started discussing, and then the source close to the Hero, they gave their statement that we have not renewed our contract with FSDL. So I think it's very easy, and and after giving 13-14 years, and this is nothing to do, I know more people who have done more things for Indian football for many years, and that's why I've never boosted and proud of it. But I think today was a platform that I think the topics, because people think me tweeting about Indian football stuck in Thailand was a bad thing about Indian football, and that's a very bad for Indian football. You can't deny. I have these 2 letters from AFF in my hand, and there's a full video coming on this channel with these 2 letters, and what written on these 2 letters, that's the trust broken between ISL clubs and the AFF. There's a complete video on the Thailand fiasco and the camp fiasco coming on this channel, where I have discussed each and every point with the facts and with everything. And I think that's people need to understand about. It's if Indian football team players are struck at a place and they don't know where they're going. Are they going to stay in Thailand? Are they going to come back to their clubs? Are they going to go straight to China? The players are in dark. Should we not make the more clarity on it? And let's take the Thailand. Just summarize the Thailand stuff. What happened on Thailand? Very important point there. In the morning, I wake up very late. The news came that 2 clubs are trying to fly their players from Thailand, and everybody thought it's all about admin and the ticketing issue. AFF have not able to book the tickets. That's the only thing. When I started my day and I started getting calls and I started speaking to people, sources again close to very development, they said players were never given a return ticket. Even the players who are not in Asian Games, they were not given a return ticket. They were just given a one-way tickets. Okay, that's one thing. Then second thing, I'm told players who landed to India who are not for the Asian Games in the evening, that our passports were given in the morning. That's very new. If you have not followed, if you don't know about, only U team players' passports are taken away. You can't take your senior team who are adult by themselves to take the passports away. And then you have written to the clubs on the date of 17th of August saying this letter, of course, these full stories, full videos coming, that 11th of September players will come back, and players were not here in the evening and the night of 11th of September. Many of these players reach out to India on 13th morning. How and when? Very important. When I tweeted about that Indian football team players stuck in Thailand, AFF, a media platform, came with a single quote from AFF General Secretary. It's totally wrong. Social media chatters is totally wrong. I believed in my sources. I tweeted again about the passport issue. In the evening, in the night, late night by the way, Times of India, Marcus came with the story with General Secretary quotes into it, and he admitted in that story. Go and read that story. Read the first story at the media platform. I don't want to take their name because I think it was a bit of childish. The kind of that story was taken out without listening out the other party in that involved, in that is the players and the clubs. In the evening, late night, AFF General Secretary said they tried to keep the player for extra days of the international transfer window. Not how many days, not mentioned, but extra days of the international transfer window. But clubs did not agree. How clubs did not agree? Because all the clubs talk to each other. Are your players coming today? Have you received any confirmation with your player coming? And then eventually the talks of not having passport came out. Then eventually the players are not a passport. On the night, AFF admitted that they tried to keep the player hold of extra days at Thailand. And those players were informed by team staff that you might go to China straight away directly from here. And then you're giving on writing on a letterhead of AFF that the players will come back on 11th of September to India. Players were not here in India till 13th September in the morning. AFF is not very rich body. Can they afford to not to book a return ticket? Just give a one-way ticket to their players when they're fully aware that India will play the last match in the Kings Cup on the 10th of September. They booked only one-way ticket. They never booked the return ticket. Even for the players who were not involved, who were not named in the Asian Games squad, initial squad, they were even not given the return ticket. So I think if something is wrong happening, it's my job, it's our job, the media job, to bring out the picture as it is in front of you, right? And that's what I tried at the moment. After I tweeted, then only AFF got into active, and then they said then they started looking for booking the tickets. And it was 11th evening when this tweeted, and because they come from Thailand, it's not easy to book for different sectors from Thailand. Eventually the players reach early morning on 13th, so that's already 2 days late as per the letter issued by AFF on the date of 17th of August. The player will reach on 11th of September. The big issue was if AFF and Igor Stimac definitely wanted to keep player for extra days. I don't know how many days. Was it just 2 days, 3 days till the start of the Asian? I don't know. But he wanted to keep the players for the extra days. It is not the mistake of Igor Stimac that he wanted to keep the player extra. It's the mistake of AFF that they failed to communicate to the clubs when the player will be come back. Because clubs have to plan their stuff with their own players. There are many things they have to do with their own players. So if AFF could have just informed clubs that these number of players are coming on 12th, these number of players coming on 13th, then it would have been no issue. And that's where I think the trust between clubs and the AFF has broken, at this level. So there's a detailed video coming on the same issue for you guys, which you can, and which has the details of these two letters, which AFF issues on 17th of August. That's one letter. Other letter was issued on 29th of August, where the final 23 men squad was announced, and on that letter only the date of departure was mentioned, nothing about the date of arrival. On the earlier letter, which was 17th of August, the date of return was mentioned, which was 11th of September. Also mentioned that tickets will be sent directly to the player for the respective sectors. So I think that's the important thing, and people feel that why nothing bad of holding play. Yes, that's nothing bad. I said do the proper way. On this channel, on this Inside Indian Football, for last 1 month, 1.5 months, I have been telling everyone, all the stakeholders, come together, sit over a table, don't do only interview. Don't throw words on only an interview. If AFF president, just 2 days before the ISL fixtures about to come out, broadcaster was confirmed, he is saying in an interview that I will talk to FSDL to postpone ISL. If you guys have seen Inside Indian Football, for 4 weeks I am saying they should try to get ISL postponed for 4 weeks. So instead of talking them for a 1 month, they waited till the last date when the schedule was about to come out to say that we will, and that he said in an interview that I will talk to FSDL about postponing of ISL. I suggested that thing very first day when the Asian Game fiasco started. that FSDL, Igor Stimac and AFF should sit over a table, talk about it. If they can give them players for Asian Games, postpone the ISL for 10 days, maybe Igor Stimac can work upon his schedule and give the 1 week extra in the month of December to ISL. And that's asset compromise need to be done from all parties together. Not only one party can do the compromise. And if people are saying nation is definitely a priority, but can we afford, how many countries in the Asia is going to, and I'm as I recommended that ISL should be postponed. But how? That by talking, by finding solution, not just doing media interviews, not just throwing lame statements in the media. And that's my problem is, and that's why I wanted to highlight. Then people come on Twitter just based on one statement from my shows or one limited tweet that I am running agent. I'm not running agent. I've tried to show the solution to these people who are involved, that you sit over the table, don't do just interview. Just by speaking in media will not going to solve the issue. And I was fully aware that this will go till very last date. On the 13th, when I tweeted about that AFF is about to send second string team, emergency executive committee was called upon. The discussion about Asian Games team not sending at all was also discussed, that we will not send a team at all. Then eventually Sai was involved. Sai said, no, you can't do that. Then eventually AFF have started talking to ISL club on the last moment that which players can be called upon if we can't call for the first team choice players. That's how they have announced 17 men's squad. And what I'm told, there will be more players added in the squad. The AFF and the clubs and the FSDL still in talks to get release of more players. These things could have been done before, not 4 or 5 days before team need to travel to China. We are working on lastminute.com. ऐसे हर चीज हम last minute में अगर करेंगे, players की ticket हम on the day of जिस दिन को निकलना उसी दिन करेंगे. टीम सिलेक्शन हम उस दिन करेंगे 3 दिन पहले जाने से पहले. हर चीज आप लास्ट मोमेंट पे नहीं कर सकते हो. आईएसएल पोस्टपोन करने की रिक्वेस्ट मीडिया में हम 2 दिन पहले करेंगे शेड्यूल आने से, वो नहीं हो, वो महीने भर पहले होता है सर. आप 2 दिन, एंड इट्स नॉट अ मिस्टेक ऑफ एएफएफ प्रेसिडेंट, it's a mistake of people who are involved in the process. AFF president is not running day-to-day operations of the AFF. He is the last solution. Eventually, he was the one who went to sports ministry to give the presentation to convince sports ministry on behalf of Indian football to send the Indian football teams to the Asian Games at the last moment when all the communication broken between SAI, Indian sports ministry and AFF. So I think that's what my complaint is. Instead of throwing statement on social media, instead of doing media interviews, this conversation between FSDL, ISL clubs should have taken place 1 month before. If they would have come up in a common ground, let's postpone ISL for 1 week or 10 days. We will give you some extra days in the month of December. We will give you some extra days in the month of November. Instead of 10-day camps, we can have a 7-day camps for the World Cup qualifiers. Because you're playing in October. You will have some days to train in October. As I said, there need to be a compromise from all the parties. You can't just kill one party and say, okay, आपके अगर 2 बच्चे हैं, आप एक को भूखा मार दो और एक को सिर्फ खाना खिलाओ, ऐसे नहीं होगा. आपको खाना इक्वली बांटना पड़ेगा उनको इसमें, राइट? लीगली किसके प्लेयर्स हैं सबको पता है. क्लब्स होल्ड्स द लीगल राइट्स ऑन द प्लेयर. दे आर स्टिल and when AFF tried to keep the player for extra days, I tweeted also that AFF can do this, but they have to remember that they have to go to the same clubs to release these players for the month of November for the World Cup qualifier, which is the most important matches for Indian football team in last 10 years for me. Maybe important than AFC Asian Cup, which is month of January, because India need to go to the round 3 of the World Cup qualifiers. That's the history we need to change. We've never qualified for the World Cup qualifiers, and I have been raising that question on the World Cup qualifiers that we have to prepare our team for World Cup qualifiers again and again. I have also raised, I was the one who raised question on Igor Stimac contract, that give him the new contract. You can't have uncertainty over your team that you have a one coach in the month of November where you're playing World Cup qualifiers. You have the same coach for the month of January when the Asia Cup is going on. Then you can't get a new coach for the month of March straight away to the World Cup qualifiers. How can you play a World Cup qualifiers with a new coach without any camp, without playing any friendlies? That's the question I raise on this platform, on KNTV, on Inside Indian Football. The regular on this channel are aware about it. And I was the one I said they should give a new contract to Igor Stimac now, instead of taking the last day of the Asia Cup and then giving the new contract. That will give Igor Stimac a confidence over AFF, over Indian football, that he has a long-term future with the Indian football team. I was the one. If I am against Igor Stimac, I will say don't give him the new contract. Wait till the Asia Cup and then see. No, because I am fully aware the March World Cup qualifiers is as important as the AFC Asian Cup for Indian football. Maybe more important than the AFC Asian Cup of the Indian football. So if we get a new coach in the month of Feb, what he will do? By just seeing ISL, he will select a squad, straight away go to the March window and play the World Cup qualifiers without any camp, without any friendly. How he will do it? Coaches are not magicians. So if I have any agenda against Igor's Stimac, which people have been and this is not many, there's some people are pointing out, then I would have never said give new contract to Igor Stimac. I am the one who has been pointing out again and again, his contract is getting over in January. We can't go in the World Cup qualifiers with uncertainty over the future of our national team coach. Give him the new contract. And that's the story. And inside Indian football, that's the story we discussed. This is the 99 episodes. I have been doing this for more than, I think, 115 weeks maybe, if we talk about all the period. And I have been discussing these issues in detail. I have read every week, I discuss these issues for 1 week. आप लोग जाके एक ट्वीट देखते हो, एक स्टेटमेंट देखते हो, एक व्हाट्सएप फॉरवर्ड देखते हो, अपना ओपिनियन पास करते हो एंड डर्ट थ्रो करते हो. आप आओ, मैंने उस बंदे को ट्वीट किया, because मुझे, and I have nothing to do with, I have done no tweets on astrology scam or whatever it is. मैंने कुछ बोला भी नहीं उसके बारे में. Neither Khelna said anything about it. The guy called Uncomfortable Truth says, hence I feel FSDL Ambanis and the press yellow journalist. I am not a journalist. That's first story. Ashish Negi out there to ensure their gravy train is not stopped. Because of them, gravy is better than national pride. I said, what did I do the regarding issue? I have not done nothing. He said, your reporting seemed to portray one side of the story. At least I thought so. I had an opinion. In case I am proven, I would gladly, with the same apology, says is yours. I told him, I don't know what is his name. I told him, come to the this video on 6 p.m. Then he says, it is a good to see, open a dialogue. I appreciate you replying and putting across your point. Love the zeal in the new age. I am not journalist, my brother. I am not a journalist. Someone who can take the rant, I can take the rant, but please be the feasible. आप पूरी स्टोरी देखिए, सब कुछ पढ़िए. आप आइए, मैं 99 एपिसोड अगर किया हूं तो मैं कितने लोगों से इंटरेक्ट किया हूं उस वीडियोस में, आपको आइडिया भी नहीं है. उतने आपके फॉलोअर्स नहीं है, मतलब पता नहीं, अब तो अभी नया आपने ट्विटर खोला है. दिस इज द 99 एपिसोड. आप समझ सकते हो 120 वीक्स में हर एक घंटा बात करता हूं अपने इस ऑडियंस के साथ, उनके क्वेरीज सॉल्व करता हूं, सब कुछ करता हूं. देयर इज अ रीजन बिहाइंड इट, बिकॉज देयर इज लॉट्स ऑफ मिथ इन इंडियन फुटबॉल. देयर इज लॉट्स ऑफ मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन अबाउट इंडियन फुटबॉल. Nobody is clearing the doubts about the fans or common doubts of Indian football. लोगों को पता नहीं है चीजें चलती कैसे इंडियन फुटबॉल में. तो वो इसी प्लेटफॉर्म पे होता आ रहा है, ठीक है. And there's a reason I'm doing it. I will continue doing it, but this is just to inform on the Thailand, on the camp issue. That I have 2 letters. This is a separate issue. The video I think should go tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the morning. It's already on the channel. We can put the link in the description tab for you guys to watch it. Pre-release the video. आप रिलीज होने से पहले देख सकते हो. कल वीडियो लाइव जाएगा. उस वीडियो में मैंने 25 मिनट का वीडियो है, मैंने एक टाइमलाइन से डिस्कस किया है, कैंप के बारे में डिस्कस किया है, कैलेंडर के बारे में डिस्कस किया है कि हाउ मिसमैनेज इज आवर इंडियन फुटबॉल टीम कैलेंडर और इंडियन फुटबॉल कैलेंडर इज बाय आवर अथॉरिटीज, आवर स्टेक होल्डर्स. वो सब डिस्कस किया है, ठीक है. मैंने आईएसएल क्लब्स के बारे में बात करी, आप वो वीडियो देखना एंड उसके बाद आप मेरे से बात करना. लेट्स मूव ऑन. I think there are a couple of topics which is very important we need to talk about. There was Asian Games squad. 17-member squad has been announced, have been announced by AFF. But I'm told there will be more players joining in very soon, and the squad right now is very depleted. Only 2 centre back in the team, 2 defenders in the team, only 2 goalkeepers, and some very players looks like assembled from here and there. And of course, there's put on a cherry on top, Sunil Chhetri name is included just to create a headlines so that the criticism is less. I still feel this squad can be improved if there are 4 or 5 good player names are added, if some clubs and AFF can find a middle ground, if players can put an extra effort to make sure they are in the squad. I think there's a 2 way to see it. Asian Games was always an age group tournament where we can allow 3 senior team players. There were 2 solutions I think which I can propose now also. Maybe seeing the calendar, ISL could have made 6 foreigners in a playing 11, allowed 6 foreigners in the playing 11 for this season only. That would have allowed clubs to replace their star player like Sandesh, Anwar for a few months when they're going away, when they're going for the longer camp in the month of November, when they're going away in the month of December. That would have allowed ISL to have some window. But again, that's like a short-term pain, but might hammer some Indian player playing time. That's one solution. Another solution would have been Indian team always would have said we will send under 23 team, our youngsters to the Asian Games with 3 senior players like Redeem Talang, Jerry Mointhama, these kind of players who have been on fringes of Indian team, but they never got a chance to play for the Indian football team. You know, there are enough players in the setup, you know, who are in the setup, who are above 23, who have good quality to play for India, but never got a chance. That's how they can they could have made one team for the Asian Games. Only issue started happening for the Asian Games when the campaign for the Asian Games selection when the SAI said, or ministry said, no, AFF have to send their best team for the Asian Games because they promised to the Sports Authority of India and Sports Ministry of India. That's where the problem started, you know, because and this is discussed in the video which is coming on. AFF, Igor's Stimac, before the season started, April and May, they told the clubs, they told the ISL, Asian Games is not in our priority list. It's a youth tournament. We're going to send the youth team there. That's what they told AFF, the clubs, you know, and that's how the calendar was discussed, and that's how the calendar was finalized. So I think that would have been another solution. You know, the youngsters could have been sent. You know, they could have had a good exposures, but that would have been only the problem would have been the trust than AFF and the sports ministry. So they have to still find a balance. You know, with this team. I think Sumit Rathi getting a chance is a great sign. Can he play? Narendra is a great player. Only 2 defender. That's the only problem. Amarjeet Singh Kiam getting a chance coming back in the new team. Can he build his confidence? You know, Samuel James, a good youngster from I-League. Rahul KP, shown a glimpse of talent in the Kings Cup, is there. Abdul Rahivi is there. You know, Ayush Dev Chetri is there. Great talent. Bras Merenda is there. Azwa Nurani is there. Rahim Ali is there. Vinci Barreto is there. Chetri, Rohit Dhano, Gurkirat Singh, Aniket Jadhav is there. I think striking department still fine, but this team still need some defenders, you know. Still need some defenders, right back, left back, centre back, midfielders. 5 players, they need still 5 players to make this team look good. Those 5 players, I don't know where they come from. Some like Sana, maybe, if Hyderabad FC could release him, if he's not, you know, I don't know. Because I still feel some players we need to make this team squad very bit strong. It's very weak on paper. It's very unbalanced on paper, and this is not going to serve purpose. It's just like, you know, we are going there for suicide with this squad. So they need to improve it. I am told the Deepak Tangri is about to add on this squad, not confirmed till now, but there are 3 to 4 more players who will be bit on senior stature in terms of their profile, will be added to this squad. Their name could not be confirmed yesterday because of the, you know, later issue. That's one thing. Another thing is Indian team is likely to reach 16th of September to China, which is 1 day remaining. I don't know how their visa and everything will be sorted out, the tickets and everything sorted out, but if the new names to be added, they need to be added by tonight. You know, Wenger has confirmed his arrival to India. He will coming in October. Hero has cut his ties with Indian football at all, ISL, Indian football, and it's not a bad, it's a bad news for ISL, but it's a bigger bad news for Indian football tournaments. We don't have youth leagues still not going on. There is no sign of youth leagues. Even the Hero, there's a youth national championships going on. This tournament is going to suffer from this deal. Hopefully FSGL can secure some kind of a sponsorship. I am told in the month of October there might be some positive development on this side of the picture, on the leading sponsor for Indian football. So we have to wait till the month of October. So I think, but I will keep you guys updated on that. Hero was paying FSGL around 35 crores approximately for the package of this deal. So let's see what happened on that, you know. And Sports 18 is the official broadcaster for ISL now, with Jio showing the streaming rights. And Mahesh and Ashik have came back to their respective clubs with injury. Now let's come to the another topic straight away, and there are lots of questions in the chat, and I will try to take all the questions, and there are some questions people have sent before the show started, so I will answer those. Let me bring any and we'll come to this very question, Darknet, why astrologer disputed raised again, please tell. And that's, I will share my opinion, and I will share why that became more critical when the more details came out. I will share that, and why it can be a very dangerous, it might bring FIFA's eye to the Indian football again based on that issue also. Now you know, and let's come to Bhargav Apuia news. So let me admit, I was the one on this channel, one of the episode, just after Hero Intercontinental Cup. I was aware of Apuia issue from very first day. I gave hint on this channel that I am going to bring Apuia story out. Apuia and Stimac, all is not well. I gave the, and I said it's a very childish issue. These were my words. But what happened? There's a big but here. Once the video went out, quickly after that, I got in touch with few people who were close to the development, again sources, and I was told that if this story come out, the relationship between the player and coach might not get repaired before the big tournament, Asia Cup and the World Cup qualifiers. See, if I'm a tabloid, if I'm a news channel, if I'm a news website, for me it was big news. This is back in July and August, by the way. For that could have been a big news for me. I think it was in month of June, sorry, not even July, August. It was the month of June. Was for big news, big exclusive. If I wanted to diss or I had negative side of Indian football team or the Agio match, we would have published the story that moment only. But I was given a hope that if this does not come out now, both the parties might repair the relationships and we might see Apuia back in Indian team. And I'm a big fan of Apuia, big fan of what he can do as a player. And I think it's important for Indian football that both the coach and the player get into the talking terms and solve out their issues. That's why that video was unlisted for 24 hours. We put an extra efforts to remove the part from the video and we dropped that story completely. Khelong went to jip silence on that story. Now that story has come out, and I don't know how that come out and who brought that story out. It's because it's 2-month-old story. Apuia have not selected for any Indian team since then. Asian Games, senior team, under-23 team. He was there in the Pro squad, but never got selected. Played in the Durand Cup. He's a fit. Might play in the Champions League for Mumbai City FC. And I thought if he plays well in the Champions League, the Stimac will not call him in the month of October. Maybe then this story will make sound. But the story is out now. So let me give you an idea what happened there with Apuia and at that camp in Bhubaneswar. If you guys remember, the announcement came from the AFF side. The mental physio psychiatrist, I don't know what was the term there. एक position AFF ने बनाई and किसी को team में डाला to analyze the mental stability of player, mental health of the players, and that's what I don't know. I'm not sure that how that's going to help on the football, but it's a good, if anything, good for Indian football team. We are fine with it. That person, that person, psychologist. Good. Sorry, I forget. And that person came in the Indian team, and on the very first day, he gave a form to Indian football team players that you have to fill out this form. And you have to submit the form at the 10 p.m. That particular person was with the squad for less than, I don't know how many, but very less time. He just joined the squad. So he's not aware of how is the personality of Sunil Chhetri, how is the personality of Gurpreet Singh Sandhu, how is the personality of Changte, how is the personality of Apuia, who is Sai, who is very open in sharing his feeling, who is very good with writing, who is very good with speaking. That person is not aware of it, but that's fine. So he gave a form to the Indian football team players that I need this form by 10 a.m. in the morning. Apuia didn't fill out that form or didn't submit his form to that particular person. I don't even remember that particular person name. He didn't fill out the form. You have to remember, Apuia comes from Mizoram. Mizo kids, Mizo players are not that much outspoken. They don't share their feelings, they are not that much active on social media if you see, they are not outspoken, they don't give many interviews. So my understanding was, it's not Apuia was late with the form, he not able to understand that form properly and he has some doubt over that form. I am also told, out of the all players, not everyone submitted that form on time, just like Apuia not able to submit. And what happened, that particular person in front of the whole team, taken out that form, went with Apuia, went to the head coach and जैसे होता है ना, कैसे बताऊँ मैं example, family में होता है ना कि चाचा चाची complain करने चले गए पापा मम्मी के पास बच्चे की and complained about Apuia and he made a big issue about it, that he is not punctual, he is not that, he is not that. Apuia in front of the whole team, Stimac bashed on him. He shouted on him, a youngster. And he is right because Stimac did what the psychologist told him about Apuia. who joined the squad couple of days back, by the way. And as I said, he don't have an idea about anybody's personality of Indian football team. He might be a psychologist, he's not a magician. He told CMatch, I don't know what he's told, CMatch went and in front of the team told Apuia that you are not in my plan. And after that, Apuia did not play any game in the Intercontinental Cup. And we all thought he's injured again. And eventually, after the Intercontinental Cup, I was told this. Apuia went straight to his room, and some players, some sources who are the part of the team, told me that he might have cried his own room after what happened in that moment. So when we received this story, we could have done the story on the next day when even I gave the hint on this channel. But I thought it's for the Indian football betterment. If player and the coach can, improve their relationship, I think it's good for Indian football. This story do not need to come out. And that's how we put the story back under the bed, and we thought, I hope, I keep the finger crossed, maybe player and the coach will come on the terms and, will find a solution. And I don't think the solution have found out. Now with story out now, the story was in a way very balanced, but I think maybe Apuia not punctual, but I think there you have to consider he's a Mizo guy. He is not outspoken like our other players, Maybe he has some confusion about the form. He's a footballer. He's not a writer. He's not a journalist that he can write about any question you can give. He can write. He mightn't speak well. The psychologists have not asked him why you're not able to submit a form. He just went to Igor Stimac and चुगली कर दी जाके उन्होंने. उस बेसिस पे एक प्लेयर के पंक्चुअलिटी के ऊपर, एक प्लेयर के पर्सनैलिटी के ऊपर सवाल उठाए गए. And not blaming the head coach here, he spoken about what he was given feedback from psychologist. This psychologist was new to the team, joined just few days before, without considering the age profile of the player. He shattered everything in a minutes. So I think that's the story behind Apuia and what happened in that camp. And this came on this channel very just few days after Continental Cup. And many people are aware of, regular people को पता था, जिन्होंने जो online देखते उनको पता था, जिन्होंने offline देखा उनको नहीं पता था, because we trim out the part of the video, because I think मुझे लगा था कि यार क्या पता ये relationship, जैसे मुझे उम्मीद दी गई कि this might change, the relationship might improve, Apuia might get to the Indian team back. अगर हम ये story अभी आती है तो शायद वो टीम में कभी आएगा नहीं. उस डर के मारे कि प्लेयर इतना यंगस्टर है, वो टीम में ही नहीं, अगर स्टोरी आउट हो जाती तो हमने स्टोरी हटा दिया, स्टोरी दबा दी. तो ये भी एक करते हैं, ये भी हम करते हैं. ये नहीं है कि हम मीडिया हाउस है तो हम हर चीज़ की स्टोरी ले आए आपके सामने. हमें देखना पड़ता है कई बार कि क्या वो स्टोरी का इम्पैक्ट क्या हो सकता है. एंड मैंने जैसे इस वीडियो का स्टार्टिंग बोला, Igor Stimac is not the biggest stakeholder of the Indian football. Fans are not the biggest stakeholder of the Indian football. Not clubs, not AFF, not FSDL. It's Indian football players. If they do well, if they have good mentality, if they perform well, then every other stakeholder will enjoy Indian football. So that's the thing. अब करते हैं भाई, अब आप लोग आ गए हो तो अब कमेंट्स की तरफ मैं चलता हूं. मैं एक 4 कमेंट्स थे वो लेता हूं पहले, उसके बाद आप लोगों के कमेंट्स की तरफ आऊंगा. मैंने कुछ कमेंट्स एंड आशीष वर्मा ने बहुत सही बोली, साइकोलॉजिस्ट डूइंग एग्जैक्टली अपोजिट ऑफ व्हाट ही वाज सपोज्ड टू डू. एंड I want to raise the question of the psychologist mentality. आपको नहीं पता है कि आप साइकोलॉजिस्ट हो, डिग्री होल्डर हो, आपको ये नहीं पता यंगस्टर्स को कैसे ट्रीट करते हैं. आपने पूछा अपुया से, उसने फॉर्म क्यों नहीं भरा? फॉर्म में कोई डाउट था क्या उसको? रात को फॉर्म दे रहे हो, सुबह 10 बजे फॉर्म मांग रहे हो. आप ये सवाल, जो साइकोलॉजिस्ट होते हैं ना, वो फॉर्म में नहीं, वो फेस टू फेस बात करते हैं. If you go, there are enough documentaries of European football clubs, national team. They also have psychologists and everything. See how they do their jobs. यहाँ पे क्या है ना, इन सबको backdoor entries मिल जाती हैं jobs के अंदर, और ये सोचते हैं हम ही boss हैं. We are the boss. You are not the boss of this game. There's an ego match is definitely boss of the team. Football players are very important stakeholder of that, and as I said, they're most important stakeholder of the game. So let's go. मैं भाई Mr. Broken भाई हिंदी में ही बात करूँगा. जैसा आप मुझे सवाल करोगे वैसे ही करूँगा. एंड उसके अलावा अब आते हैं सवालों की तरफ. कुछ लोगों ने सवाल भेजा था, आरआरसी गेमिंग ने बोला स्टीमैक्स बीन टू हार्श ऑन अपुया. मैंने जैसे बोला कि स्टीमैक्स रिएक्टेड एज पर द फीडबैक फ्रॉम साइकोलॉजिस्ट. साइकोलॉजिस्ट ने क्या बोला, दैट्स बिटवीन स्टीमैक्स एंड साइकोलॉजिस्ट. आई डोंट नो. व्हाटएवर ही सेड, दैट वाज नॉट गुड, दैट आई नो. Rat Daz says all these indications of Stimac sacking before the Asian Games. Will the distorts if I claims of Stimac rift with Apuia genuine? What if it is no Apuia? That's genuine issue, and I want I want Stimac to stay, and I've said this on channel, on record. I'm saying it again. For the betterment of the Indian football, Stimac should have a new contract by the end of the SAF Championship. I have said on this channel, I'm saying again, Stimac should not go in the month of November on the World Cup qualifiers not knowing about his future with the Indian football team. He should be aware that he is staying with the Indian football team for next 3 years. I said this on this channel, I'm saying again today, Igor Stimac should be signing a new contract with the Indian football team, and I'm going to tweet this also. I'm going to tweet this. Irrespective of the issues, he should be getting a new deal with the AFF, with the Indian football team. That's the question asked by Red here. Sankalp Chakrabarti, AFF need to do more in the youth teams. When will the youth league start? And also, after Hero withdrawal, which sponsor will AFF get? Hero Motoka was vital for the youth league especially. Sankalp, मैंने बात बोली थी. अभी तक youth league का कोई आइडिया, कोई न्यूज़ नहीं है, कोई पूछता भी नहीं है. मेरे अलावा मैं ही हर हफ्ते बोलता रहता हूँ इस चैनल पे. उसके अलावा किसी को फर्क नहीं पड़ता. कोई अभी भी कोई न्यूज़ नहीं. हीरो जाना बहुत हानिकारक खबर है इंडियन फुटबॉल के लिए. अंकुर जैन, नो द टाइमिंग, अंकुर जैन बोल रहे हैं. Know the timing of these leaks means someone is against Igor Stimac, but I want to know your opinion on him. Does he really care about Indian football, or is he also using public sentiments of nation first? Of course he cares about Indian football. As I said, he will deserve a new contract. But nobody is saint in this world. I am not saying he is not perfect. He has done his role. He is a very good coach. Fantastic results. Deserve a new contract. But as I said, nobody is saint. Everybody has done their wrong. Everybody have committed some kind of mistakes in this whole saga last 6 months, 1 year, and everybody have to come together and talk together and find out solution. That's my idea. Now let's come quickly to the all questions. I will take all the questions. Do hit the like button straight away. Harsh Yadav bhai BGMI का भी करेंगे यार. आदित्य को बोल दिया है. Some saying Apuia story pushed by more by IFF to put CLIMAX in place. I don't know. हमने तो करी नहीं. देखो हमने तो स्टोरी दबा दी थी. AFC Cup telecast, I think it will be fan code have a streaming right, will be on a sports rating, I think so. Sack C-match, don't think there's a sack need to be sacking to be done. अरे बिना बिगेस्ट यूरोपियन जैसा लीग बना साउथ अमेरिका नेशन कैसे बेस्ट कर रहे हैं. वर्ल्ड कप नेशन पे ध्यान दो. क्लब फुटबॉल में घर का इंग्लैंड स्पेशन की तरह में रोते रहोगे. टोटल लाल आप जाके ना अगर ब्राजील का और अर्जेंटीना की लीग्स देख के आना, उनका लेवल देखो, उनका फुटबॉल देखो. रोमियो फर्नांडिस 4th डिवीजन ब्राजीलियन लीग में भी उनको प्लेइंग टाइम नहीं मिल रहा था. और डॉस सैंटोस आया, स्टीवन मेंडोजा आए हैं, ये लोअर लीग में खेलते थे ब्राजीलियन लीग की. उन्होंने ISL में धमाका मचा दिया था. अब वो ब्राजील की स्टेट लीग में भी नहीं खेल पाते थे. स्टेट लीग में जैसे हमारे होती है ना CFL, कर्नाटका प्रीमियर लीग, वैसे भी नहीं खेल पाते थे. तो यार वो पहले आप देख के आओ उनको डोमेस्टिक सेटअप क्या है. ब्राजील से हर साल एक 16-17 साल का बच्चा यूरोप में जाता है 40-50 मिलियन के लिए. Barcelona, Real Madrid already signing players for next year of these Brazilian or Argentinian descent from their domestic leagues. तो देख क्या उनका डोमेस्टिक सेटअप प्रीमियर लीग के बराबर नहीं है, पर इतना बुरा नहीं है कि आप कह रहे हो कि वो जस्ट बिकॉज वो नेशंस पे ध्यान देते हैं इसलिए उनकी टीम अच्छी हुई है. Of course, they are a historical footballing nations. Football is the biggest sport there, but the domestic league setup is very good. The youth system is very good. That's why their leagues might be not as good as English Premier League. English Premier League biggest league है because English बोली जाती है वहाँ पे and world wide local connect कर पाते हैं. ब्राजील में इंग्लिश नहीं बोलते. ला लीगा इतनी बड़ी लीग नहीं जितनी प्रीमियर लीग है वर्ल्ड वाइड, बिकॉज वहाँ स्पेनिश बोली जाती है. सेम विद बुंडेसलीगा. दैट्स द स्टोरी. एंड आप ब्राजील और अर्जेंटीना लीग का लेवल देखो भाई, आप जाओ एक बार देखना. आप मैंने देखा है ना ISL में प्लेयर्स आए हैं ब्राजील से, बहुत प्लेयर्स आए हैं. वो स्टेट लीग्स भी नहीं खेल पाते थे ब्राजील की. स्टेट लीग विद 5th डिवीजन 4th डिवीजन ऑफ ब्राजील, वो आके ISL में हीरो बने थे, मेन प्लेयर बन गए थे टीम के अपने. तो वो चीज है. Is negotiation still going on with Stimac? Will he under 23 play Kafa next year? Unlikely. Kafa negotiation with Stimac should be going on. Asian game में क्या hope है इस टीम से आपकी? कुछ ज़्यादा hope नहीं. I hope they defeat Bangladesh, do well against China. I think performance, practice. Hope Igor Stimac able to see the more players before the November and the October window. खेलना हो हिंदी ना हो. अरे भाई प्रवीण कुमार इंग्लिश में भी बात कर रहे हैं तो आपको वो उनको भी प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है. पूरा तो इंग्लिश में था पहला सेक्शन भाई, हिंदी में बोला बिकॉज कुछ लोगों ने हिंदी में पूछा. आप यार यही तो चीज़ है ना, आप लड़ाई झगड़ा थम्स अप थम्स डाउन थम्स अप पहले लग जाते हो. आप अपने सवाल कीजिए. अगर मैंने आपके सवाल इंग्लिश में नहीं दिए, हिंदी में दिया, आप उसके बाद आप बोलना. Need at least 5-7 good international friendly per season in all age group for man movement. I should not count any SAF is anyway extra. Jitin, if you remember, I have said on this channel that our under 23 team only get active when there's official competition, whereas other countries under 21 and 23 regularly plays friendlies. Our under 23 team is not going to play anything before the next AFC under 23 qualifiers. That's how I can give you writing on paper. Will football get a new sponsors? Yes, they are working over it.
I think in a month of October international break, we'll get some idea that who will be the new sponsor. Stimac knew Apuia better than that psychologist, so Stimac should have handled the situation properly. As I said, RRC Gaming, I'm not blaming the coach for it. I don't know what the psychologist told the coach. That's between the psychologist and the coach. But the psychologist is the person who should be blamed here straight away. That's my whole point is. AFC Champions League live telecast, I think it will be on a Viacom 18, but still need to be confirmed. Fan code is showing it. Bro, I can't understand Hindi. Please speak in English. Rahul, I have said most of the 90% in English. Switch Hindi only when somebody asks question in Hindi. Why Martin Ben resigned? I think just moved on. They will announce a new CEO very soon, I think in the month of Jan, I think. Don't bother about Hindi or English. They are just trolling for fun. Abhishek, will be getting enough camp for FIFA qualifiers and AFC FIFA qualifiers in November, 10-day camps. I think 2-week camps in the month of Asia Cup. Albito Nagara injured. Will Ikhati play ISL? I think they've already registered their foreigners for ISL as of now. I don't think they were going to change it. Japan, Korean clubs release players for Asian Cup. Indian clubs इतना क्यों भाव खा रहे हैं? कोरिया ने रिलीज किए हैं कुछ प्लेयर्स फॉर द एशियन गेम्स, नॉट द एशिया कप. इंडियन क्लब्स भाव खा रहे हैं यार, कैसे बताएं यार आपको, आप समझ ही नहीं पा रहे हो. क्या मुंबई चैंपियंस लीग में अपने बेस्ट प्लेयर्स के बिना खेलना चाहेगा? आप मुझे बताओ ना. उनको इशू नहीं है पर उनके गेम्स हैं यार, वो भी तो इंपॉर्टेंट है इंडियन फुटबॉल के लिए. Whatever Mumbai does in the Champions League, how many points they make, that is going to play a very important role in next 3 years to bring Indian clubs back in the Champions League. We are the ones celebrating right now. Wow, Neymar is coming, Neymar is coming. We are out of the Champions League next season. How we can come back to the Champions League? By doing well in this Champions League, by doing well in the AFC Cup, by doing well in the international Asian international matches for India. That's how we'll come back to the Champions League. So if Mumbai does not do anything in the Champions League, it is going to have a negative impact on Indian football, not on Mumbai City FC. They are qualified this time around, they might not qualify next time around. But they have to do well in the Champions League. They did well in the last Champions League. They made 7 points in the Champions League. That is serving them, that's why they're in the Champions League right now. So what you will tell Mumbai City FC? We're going to take 4 players away from you for the Asian Games. Either their calendar, AFC should have done better in that regard, you know. They didn't schedule the matches according to Asian Games because according to AFC, Asian Games is under 23 competition. It is not the senior team competition. And Saudi League is not stopping, if say just to give an example, if in the month of, अगर 18 तारीख को नेमार के अगेंस्ट मैच होता अल हिलाल के अगेंस्ट, they are not going to play without their main Saudi players who might go to the Asian Games. They are going to play full-fledged team. So that's the problem, and I think you have to understand, you have to give, यार आप समझ नहीं रहे हो, AFC Cup, AFC Champions League very important for the Indian football, very important. Overall growth के लिए बहुत important है. We want our clubs to play at the highest level, which is the Champions League, which we are not going to play from the next season. How we can get back there? By doing well in the Champions League. There's a coefficient score from each games, from AFC Cup, Champions League at a higher score. The better Mumbai do, the highest chance we have in next 2 year time we will be back in the Champions League. So that's the thing. Why no one from AFF denying allegation against Stimac astrologer issue? What will happen when more leaks come in Asia Cup or World Cup? Now let's come to the astrology saga. And people also ask me about why the astrology news came out now. Earlier astrology news came out when CEO was there, and the news came out the payment of 12 lakh we made to the astrologer, and COA have stopped the next cycle of the payment. The astrologer use was not tell that time that what astrologer have done for those 12 lakh rupees of service. Now eventually the people who hired the astrologer gave the statement to the Indian Express and gave the details that Kushal Das introduced the astrologer to Igor's team match because he was worried about Indian team not qualifying for the Asia Cup, which I'm surprised. Our group was very easy. We should have been we should have trusted our player. I don't know that Igor's team match believed Kushal Das, and he started talking to that astrologer on regular basis, started sharing a vital information to that astrologer who could go and use that information, to leak that information to the opponent teams first, could use that information to do bet on those playing 11, who will play, who will not play, who is injured, on the betting platform, on our casinos. I don't know, that is very much possible. It is against the anti-corruption laws of FIFA and AFF. integrity that you can't release vital team information to the third person who is not part of the AIFF and the team setup. It's a very important. That's the major mistake from Igor's team, as that he shared team vital information before a vital qualifiers to a third person who's not part of the AIFF, who's not part of the team setup. Big mistake. That's came out. That's integrity issue here. That information, India have won it. That's fine. But that information could have been used for many things. Betting, sharing that information with the opponent team. And apparently, according to that same report, some players were dropped by Igor's team match based on what astrologer have told. And I was reading very fun thing. Many of the Indian football team players don't have a correct date of birth. You know, they have a Pritam Kotal, for example, have a 3 date of birth. So, you know, आप कैसे उनके astrology का future बता पा रहे हो if you don't know that the birth time and date of birth correctly. You know, so that's why the story of paying 12 lakh rupees is not a big thing this time around. Story is the team vital information is shared with a third party. That's a big story, and that's the reason his story has came out now. And of course, there's Kushal Das comment to it. Kushal Das admitted that he introduced whoever that astrologer, I don't know who he is, Sarma Barma, जो भी नाम है, को उन्होंने introduce कराया with Igor's team match, and that's where the problem is. And why it came out, I don't know. But with the quotes, the quotes are there from Praful Patel, quotes are there from CLIMAX, quotes are there from Kushal Das, and the WhatsApp chats are there. You know, and Kushal Das also said that Igor's team match and the astrologer were regularly in touch, they were meeting regularly. So that's the problem, bhai. Or ye problem, it's a problem. Technically, ethically, it's not right. That's what the thing is. Will Sports 18 have a new channel? Seems like they're going to stream in different languages. Yes, it will have a new channels. When we'll see the 16 team in ISL Prince? I don't know. I mean, it will take time, slowly. जो होना है हो गया. आई होप अब नेक्स्ट ईयर से ऐसा मत को. अब तो नहीं होगा, अब तो पेमेंट ही रोक दी गई थी एस्ट्रोलॉजर साहब की. एज पर AIFF कैलेंडर, यूथ लीग्स वर सपोज टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम July 15. नाउ 2.5 months later, there is not even a word being spoken by these official. Vignesh, the as per calendar, Hero Gold Cup were also supposed to happen for the Indian women's team. That also didn't took place. I highlighted these on this channel on a regular basis. Don't worry, brother, we'll do it. We keep on fighting till we get everybody to correct their jobs. AIFF, FSDL, ISL club should have proper calendar schedule for upcoming tournament. AIFF should have organized matches for under 20, under 10 other leagues. That calendar was set up in the month of April and May, was not followed by our dearly all the stakeholders involved. Will Indian football situation ever become organized and normal? I hope so. We are trying. Everybody is trying, and I hope so they will. New ISL franchisee from next year, other than promotion, don't think so anything on that. Since under 20 don't get exposure, why we don't send the whole under 20 team to the Asian Games? That was our thinking. That would have been a better solution, you know. Bhai OFC, Mohan Bagan need to appreciate for releasing Narendra, Sumit and Tangri. Yes, as I said, some clubs have seen that, and maybe other could have seen. But I think with Odisha and Mohan Bagan playing in AFC Cup, you have to consider that factor also. Video assistant referee system will be applied for the first time in all matches of group stage of at the 2013 AFC Cup. वो तो एशिया लेवल पे तो चैंपियंस लीग में भी मिलेगा आपको VR, don't worry about it. क्या चल रहा है यार? Sometimes Stimac hero, then he is सीना कोई हीरो नहीं है, कोई जीरो नहीं है, सबके अपनी साइड्स हैं. एवरीबडी हैव देयर ओन डार्क साइड. आपने एशियन गेम्स का मैच कब है? मुंबई और AFC कप के मैचेस का. मुंबई का आई थिंक 18th को खेल रही है, इंडिया 19th को खेल रही है, तो दे आर कोलाइडिंग. नो वे दे कैन प्ले बोथ द गेम्स. मुझे लगता है ब्राजील सबसे बढ़िया लीग है. ब्राजील जब वर्ल्ड कप जीता उनका 90% ब्राजीलियन लीग में ही खेलते थे. यार जिनको लगता है ना ब्राजील की लीग थोड़ी कम है, तो वो एक बार देखना चालू करें. आप देखते नहीं हो, वो पता नहीं है, आप सिर्फ प्रीमियर लीग देखते हो. टेल ऑन आशिक और महेश दोनों ही इंजर्ड आए हैं. And this is again, and this is as per East Bengal and Mohan Bagan sources. Ashik was not even got a proper MRI at the national team setup, and they sent him just like that, saying it's a minor issue. When he came back, I don't know what's the latest reports. 40% ACL chances are there, and he was not properly tested. That's why and the video which coming tomorrow, by the way, thumbnail title says, why the trust between ISL clubs and AIFF is on an all-time low. This is the reason, one of the reason. This is not a new, this has happened in past in Indian football, that players have went to the national team and they came back injured and they were not properly diagnosed and treated by national team staff. ठीक है. दादा इंडियन 17 प्लेयर्स नेक्स्ट टूर्नामेंट. अब तो जो अंडर 16 साफ चैंपियनशिप टीम थी, दे विल प्ले द क्वालिफायर्स, नेक्स्ट साइकिल क्वालिफायर्स ऑफ AFC अंडर 16 चैंपियनशिप, अंडर 17 चैंपियनशिप. दिस न्यू AFF कमिटी सेड बिग वर्ड्स टिल रिसेंटली एंड नाउ मेकिंग मेस ऑफ एवरीथिंग. आई थिंक देखो, I don't going to throw the astrologer saga. They don't have anything on their hands. It was done by the previous regime. The calendar they could have done better. They could have respected the schedule they prepared in past instead of changing details in every last moment. That's where the mistake is. They have done a good work till now in various things, but could do better and could have avoided some mistake which I have highlighted. Will ISL have an odd number of teams again next season, since currently only one team is supposed to get promoted? Yes, as of now, but we don't know. It can change in next 6 months. Ashik is the most important player for our national team, and we are on the verge of losing him in the most important tournament like World Cup qualifying Asia Cup, which is not good. Please, sir, tell me about Chennai FC foreign CV. Naveen, very honest, have not got no time to follow about the transfers in recent few days, and I apologize that I can't make any update on that. I have to check on that because last few days were very intense tension. सब चीज़ों में ही लगे हुए थे यार रिगार्डिंग द नेशनल टीम. वाई एफ डोंट ऑर्गेनाइज. आई हैव अंकुर जी ने का कमेंट ले लिया है मैंने. थोड़े ऊपर जाके पुराने कमेंट्स ले लेता हूँ, काफ़ी लोगों ने भेजे हैं. आई थिंक इंपॉर्टेंट है कि कोई कमेंट ना. AFC कप टीवी टेलीकास्ट, आई थिंक इट विल बी ऑन अ वाईकॉम. इंडिया टुडे नॉट बॉट. आई थिंक फैन कोड हैज बॉट दिस टीम राइट. ही इज नॉट इवन दैट गुड. जिक्सन इज फार बेटर देन हिम. सब्जेक्टिव है बट यू नो दोनों प्लेयर थोड़े डिफरेंट है. हाउ कैन यू कमेंट लाइक दिस टोटल लाल वर्सेस लॉजिक? पता नहीं. टोटल लाल भाई तू अब वीडियो देख क्यों रहा है? आई डोंट नो टोटल लाल ने क्या बोला है. साइकोलॉजिस्ट नेम इज श्याम लाल वाला भाई जी एज ए ऑर्गेनिस्ट जर्नी. टोटल लाल ज्वाइन द मेंबरशिप. साइकोलॉजिस्ट डूइंग एग्जैक्टली अपोजिट ऑफ व्हाट इज डूइंग आशीष वर्मा. क्वेश्चंस देख रहा हूं मैं. क्वेश्चन है आपके कोई पुराने तो मैं देख लेता हूं जो मैंने मिस कर दिए हो. लॉजिक ये है कि ये मैंने ले लिया था टोटल लाल का. मैंने भाई आपका कमेंट मैंने ले लिया था सर. और चैनल मैं सनी ने बता दिया आपको. इंग्लिश ऑल्सो हैव. थैंक्स फॉर नॉट लेटिंग अस अबाउट अपुया स्टोरी. होप रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन कोच एंड अपुया इम्प्रूव. आई होप सो एंड दैट्स द रीजन वी ड्रॉप दो स्टोरी. Compromise should take place on Vignesh on Apuia thing says will be getting camp for AFC Cup FIFA World Cup. Yeah, I have taken this. I think now you guys can send your questions about all this saga. I will try to clear everything as I can. You know, I went ऊपर पर मुझे questions repeat ही लग रहा है. Will Gujarat Giants Football Club invest in a senior team? Is Gujarat Giants, they owned by Adani, have they launched the football club? I have not checked. Ashish Verma, I have to check. Will Spark get more friendlies? I think he will get some exposure too before they will do a camp in India, then get exposure tour based on when the World qualifiers are. What are the updates on Inter-Kashi promotion issue? Any more developments that matter? I think I'll follow up then, but I will tell you very honest that don't be surprised if they don't get promoted directly if they win the I-League next season. There will be some kind of barrier put on their promotion if they do so. Dada Komal Thatala को news किया है नहीं. Nogdamba and Hawkif have joined Jamshedpur. That's the news on those two players. Where is Koro Singh? Koro Singh, I think Koro का हमने news कर तो दिया था. Koro has signed for Kerala Blaster, भाई अतुल. Is there any chance of moving on next round? देखो chance है, it's a football, you know, so never know, but let's see. Please ask suggestion send to हम we are keep on talking to her. Hello अमलान भाई. सैफ अंडर 23 स्टार्ट होना चाहिए नहीं होना चाहिए? बिल्कुल हम सैफ खेल के ही बस सेटिस्फाइड रहते हैं. हमें एफर्ट डालने चाहिए प्रॉपर फ्रेंडली अरेंज करने के लिए अंडर 23 लेवल पे. जियो सिनेमा पर AFC कॉम्पिटिशन स्ट्रीम होगी क्या? हो भी सकती है. आई विल कन्फर्म इन बिकॉज राइट्स आर स्टिल विद द रिलायंस ऑन दैट ओवरऑल द डील. सब्सक्रिप्शन चार्जेस फॉर AFC चैंपियंस लीग AFC का फैन कोड से क्लियर करके बता देंगे आपको. सुमन मलिक एक पर मैच का आई थिंक वो 25 रुपये टूर्नामेंट पास भी निकलता है उनका, वो भी देख सकते हैं. AFC कप कम्स हो. Why Stimac don't choose player like Tyson and David? That's Stimac to have decide. Apuia and Task Force, अब वो सिर्फ Task Force बनाई गई है, कोई अपडेट नहीं है. Why Stimac that's have taken? Why have not sent our understanding team for the CAFA after the invitation if can't send our players in different? वो देखो कुछ और इशू था, देखते हैं. Why FF don't organize under 23, under 19 matches in every FIFA window? It will be. That's what I have been saying. We should play regularly under 23 level. That will allow us to play the bench strength for the senior team. Asian Games streaming. Sony have the rights for the Asian Games. So Sony Live and Sony. So if the broadcast is there for football, it will be on Sony and Sony Live. Someone needs to tell our president to don't give false hopes in interviews and tweets like Asian Games Federation का VR light. पहले काम करो फिर statement दो. Totally agree, and I hope Mods is going to put the timestamp to this video today. I think it's a very important in terms of what we are trying to do. और कुछ questions आपके everything I am going to answer. Just keep on sending. ISL title sponsor I think अक्टूबर में ही अपडेट आएगी. मुझे लगता नहीं उससे पहले कुछ होने वाला है. इंटरनेशनल विंडो में ही कुछ आपको पता चलेगा आईएसएल टाइटल स्पॉन्सर के बारे में. हैदराबाद इन्वेस्टर्स, रावत जी, I think it's the solution has been in place. Announcement is just remaining. Women's team has a big chance of doing well in Asian Games. Yes, women team will do, I think, well. I hope they're silently preparing well. भाई सॉरी, सोनी ने कंफर्म कर दिया है कि 19 के मैचेस का ब्रॉडकास्ट होगा. यस, दे हैव द राइट, सो दे कैन डू इट. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, वी शुड हैव डेडिकेटेड सेपरेट कोच फॉर अंडर 23 एंड प्ले इन फीफा विंडो. That's I totally agree. Why a national team senior team coach is also a coach of under 23, I don't understand. That's never in any other countries, in the footballing countries. Opinion about selection of World Cup qualifying host venue. I don't agree on some venues. I know Bhubaneswar, good facilities that right deserve to host. I think some games which are big games, we have to use our population, our fan following for the benefit of it. You know, so Salt Lake Stadium having Qatar game, you know, would have been a great sign. You know. Or like, are this season going to be great because our title winning coaches, but due to national team player going in out for national team and lack of coordination between the clubs and the FF season is a flop. I think it will be, club season will do well. Sports 18 has a La Liga Serie. Hope they don't compromise Indian football matches, but they don't do. I think they will launch the new channel. VR Light का कोई अपडेट नहीं है भैया. OFC ने मेरे हिसाब से रॉय को लेकर गलती कर दिया. I would have preferred any non AFC cam and Asian striker instead of CY. वो तो Stimac, oh sorry, Stimac. But it's over to Sergio Oliveira because that's how Sergio Oliveira select his team. Why Sunil Chhetri is only senior player in the squad because he was the only one who's made available by the clubs. ये फैंटेसी का क्या सीन है? मैंने आपके गूगल फोरम पे फैंटेसी के बारे में बताया था. नेक्स्ट डे आईएसएल अनाउंस इट एंड फोरम गूगल फॉर्म इज स्टिल एक्टिव. यू गाइस कैन फिल द फीडबैक. आई थिंक फैंटेसी का सीन ये है कि आईएसएल, ये एक स्टोरी हम करने वाले हैं बहुत जल्दी, पर मैं डिटेल नहीं दूंगा. आईएसएल फैंटेसी पार्टनर यूज्ड टू बी ड्रीम 11. दे हैव नाउ गॉन, सो ऑफ कोर्स दे आर लॉन्चिंग देयर ओन फैंटेसी लाइक प्रीमियर लीग हैव already have their own fantasy. Slowly, Reliance will own the full ecosystem in India. इस मोमेंट पे एफएफ का रहना सही ही है. फुटबॉल को प्राइवेटाइज ही कर दो. एफएफ should exist just as a body for FIFA rules. फुल तो नहीं कर पाएंगे यारो. इस आईएसएल फैंटेसी आ रहा है. Yes, it will be like FPL अम्लान. आई लीग थर्ड स्टार्ट टाइमलाइन अक्टूबर में होगा. Arshik injury is a concern. The way he control one side of game allows other to play smoothly. We need the what kind of players who can physically deal and ball. Yes, important player है Ashik. FSDL deal is a big no ahead. यार एक इसको थोड़ा feasible देखते हैं. FSDL अगर जाता है, FSDL gives around 70 to 75 crores a year to AFF. If they go, can AFF or any federation in India other than cricket, any federation I'm saying, hockey, anyone, can they raise 75 crores a year from open market? You ask a question to yourself and you will get the answer. That money is very important for the development of Indian football. And I'm not saying that it's a good thing, but what are the options? Do you think Indian football, AIFF, can raise 75 crores from the open market a year to smoothly run Indian football? You know the answer. I don't need to answer for you guys. खेल now, please conduct an ISL fantasy private league with prices. करते हैं भैया. Reliance owning football nation will always be the second sport. Reliance also understand without India doing well, their return from the investment they have made in football never can get give them fruits. You know, so they also know Indian team is also very important for them to do to get some return on their investment. Your expectation of ISL this season, I think it will be very competitive considering the coaches know them all. The teams are continuing what they've been doing. So I think it will be very competitive, what I feel, but I think there will be differences in terms of when you talk about the number of foreigners and the quality of the foreigners. Your expect that have taken by FSDL के लोग बिना सोचने इतना गाली क्यों देते हैं? हाफ गालियां तो AFF और कोच भी डिजर्व करते हैं. मैंने जैसे बोला कोई साधु नहीं है भैया, ना AFF ना कोच ना FSDL, सब हैं अपने अपने, सबके डार्क साइड है, सबके अच्छे साइड है, सबकी बुरी साइड है. अगर आप सब हर सिर्फ एक बंदे की अच्छी साइड देखो ना, कहते हैं ना कॉइन एज अ टू साइड, हर एक कॉइन के आप दोनों साइड देखो, एक साइड देख के आप जिंदगी मत अपने ओपिनियन मत बनाओ. वो मेरी चीज मैं ये बोलना चाहता हूँ. मद्रास FC फ्यूचर, दे हैव अ गुड फैसिलिटी राइट नाउ. दे आर डूइंग अ फैंसी फुटबॉल सॉकर प्रोग्राम जहाँ प्लेयर्स को पैसा चार्ज कर रहे हैं. वो भाई फुटबॉल से हटकर एशियन गेम से क्या एक्सपेक्टेशन है यार? आर्यन से ना देखो, एशियन गेम से मेरी एक्सपेक्टेशन ये है कि ओलंपिक्स के लिए हम प्रिपेयर करेंगे. हम अच्छा करते हैं एशियन गेम्स में, टेनिस में भी मेडल जीतते हैं, बैडमिंटन में भी जीतेंगे. शूटिंग में जीतते हैं, यू नो हॉकी में हम जीतेंगे मेडल, वुमेंस मेंस दोनों, क्रिकेट में मेडल आ जाएंगे आपके पास दोनों में। तो मेरी जो एक्सपेक्टेशन एशियन गेम्स में था, रिले टीम नहीं जा रही है, दैट्स आई एम सरप्राइज, आई डोंट नो व्हाई दे आर नॉट गोइंग, दे डिड फैंटास्टिकली वेरी वेल, और द 4 मेंस 4x400 मीटर रिले टीम, आई वाज लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू फॉलो देम मोर। आई थिंक नीरज होपफुली गेट्स हिज गोल्ड अगेन इन एशियन गेम्स। तो कोई कंपटीशन इतना ज़्यादा नहीं है, बट आई वांट इंडिया टू compete with China and other nations in some sports which we don't do well. Gymnastic is one of those sports, you know, squash, squash is one of those sports I want India to do well. जिन sports, golf, I want India to do well. India golf में नहीं recently medal लाया है. जिन sports हम strong हैं, उनमें तो हमें कोई वो नहीं है, but जिन football में I want India to do well, because वहाँ sport हमारा medal expectation नहीं है football में, you know, neither men nor women. अगर वो जाके कोई medal निकाल के लाते हैं, तो that's a great sign, you know. जिन sports में अच्छा है, I think वहाँ से तो मुझे उम्मीद है कि वो करते रहेंगे जो कर रहे हैं. AFF should make every state league is happening around India. Without state league, India won't prosper. And state league are state federations. Bihar, UP, Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, MP, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Tamil Nadu. They do nothing. Nothing. Negative work they do. Not even 0%. Their work is minus 20%. On paper, they will show they have done this thing. Nothing happened. I think somebody was telling me, I think it was MP State Federation, they'd taken money from clubs to do some futsal tournament. I don't have an actual detail, but I know they'd taken money from the clubs to do some kind of tournament, and they didn't do the tournament. Taken the money away with them. They're getting funds from AFF to spend on these kind of stuff. Spend is there only on the receipt, on the books. They do negative work, negative. I can name you 10 state federation. 0% काम करते हैं, 0%, पर कोई वो नहीं होगा. वोट्स मिलते हैं ना वहां से, आपको वोट्स भी तो सिक्योर करने हैं. बहुत सारे लोग इन्हीं फेडरेशन से AFF की कमिटीज में सालों से बैठे हुए हैं, सालों से. आज नहीं, पहले पिछली रिजीम में भी थे, वो अभी भी हैं और आगे भी रहेंगे. वोट्स सिक्योर करने हैं ना, दैट्स इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. एंड मैं फिर बता रहा हूं आपको, 10 से 15 फेडरेशन है तो कुछ नहीं करती फुटबॉल के लिए. जीरो एफर्ट है, जीरो से भी नीचे नेगेटिव में एफर्ट है. मतलब वो नेगेटिव काम करते हैं, वो काम नहीं कर रहे हैं, किसी और को करने भी नहीं दे रहे हैं. प्राइवेट बॉडीज को, NGOs को, उनको भी नहीं करने दे रहे हैं, उनका नेगेटिव है काम. इफ समबडी वांट्स टू डू समथिंग, उनको पुल डाउन कर रहे हैं नीचे. दीज आर द स्टेट फेडरेशन, पार्ट ऑफ द AFF. सिटी लीग, अरे आप वो स्टेट टूर्नामेंट नहीं करा, पर लीग्स की बहुत बड़ी बात है भैया. लीग्स आर बिग थिंग्स. दे डोंट इवन कांट ऑर्गेनाइज अ प्रॉपर ट्रायल्स. Players are selected by giving money in the state team so they can get a certificates to apply at Delhi University, to apply in US universities. Rich people give money to get selected. Very true story. Multiple states happening under the nose of these officials. Amal Saji, there is no update on FSDL putting fine yet on Kerala Blasters. I think the issue is the ongoing case from Kerala Blasters, which they appealed on the AFF. CAS court case is going on. So I think once the result come out for that, then only I think FSDL is going to announce their punishment. How Iran football grows without the foreigner in leagues, because many of these Irani players also, you know, playing outside also born, and I think the domestic players are very good, you know, and they play all across the other countries also. ऐसा नहीं है सिर्फ they're playing in Iran only. This is the actually problem with the Indian football team supporter. They hardly see both sides of the story. They get convinced very easily, then just go tweeting about the same. That's my problem, and that's what I'm trying to say. If I am posting about something, just know the actual picture, know the background. मेरे वीडियो से ना बहुत लोग कोट करते हैं, WhatsApp में डालते हैं, टेक्स्ट में क्लिप करते हैं. इट गिव द इनकम्प्लीट पिक्चर. आप पूरा वीडियो नहीं देखते, आप ओपिनियन बेस्ड कर लेते हो, फिर आप पागल हो जाते हो ओपिनियन के बेसिस पे. आप आओ, जो लोग देखते हैं ना उनको पता है. उनको अभी अपुया की स्टोरी आउट आई, आई एम सो हैप्पी. ट्विटर पे लोग बोल रहे हैं कि ये कोई रैंडम स्टोरी नहीं है, ये पहले मैंने हिंट दिया था, इसी चैनल पे दिया था. दैट्स व्हाट दोस पीपल वॉच लाइव एवरी वीक. दे वेट फॉर इनसाइड इंडियन फुटबॉल, एंड इट्स नॉट समथिंग एंड इट्स अ कम्युनिटी बेस्ड एफर्ट. मैं कोई जर्नलिस्ट नहीं हूँ, मैं कोई वीडियो प्रेजेंटर नहीं हूँ. आई स्टार्टेड डूइंग दिस बिकॉज खेलना उसको था ही नहीं पहले करने के लिए, तो एक रीज़न वो भी है. सेकंड, चैनल में कोई वीडियो नहीं कर पाते थे, तो मुझे लगा यही कर लेता हूँ. इंडियन फुटबॉल फॉलो तो करता हूँ, लोगों के डाउट ही क्लियर कर लेता हूँ, यू नो. एंड यही डाउट क्लियर करने के लिए मैंने कॉलेज में इंडियन फुटबॉल टीम का पेज बनाया था. एंड आई थिंक आप लोगों को कितना लोगों को पता नहीं है, वही पेज जो ऑफिशियल पेज है ना आज, वही पेज बनाया था. और मैंने AFF को विदाउट टेकिंग एनीथिंग। और कुछ मतलब शो ऑफ करने की बात नहीं, मैं बता रहा हूँ कि पेज मैंने ऐसे ही दे दिया था, जस्ट साइन वन, एक पेपर पे मैंने साइन करके कि मैं पेज आपको दे रहा हूँ फॉर द बेटरमेंट ऑफ इंडियन फुटबॉल, क्योंकि अंडर 17 वर्ल्ड कप आ रहा था और मुझे बोला गया कि एएफएफ के पास सोशल मीडिया हैंडल्स नहीं है, आप पेज दे दीजिए। उस पेज पे 2015 जुलाई मैंने पेज दिया था, 500 के लाइक्स थे। वो लाइक्स मैंने कॉलेज में बैठ के अपनी जिंदगी के 12-13 घंटे डेली लगा के मैंने पेज ग्रो किया था ऑर्गेनिकली all across the India, and I gave it to AFF just like that and didn't ask even a jersey from AFF to give to me। आज तक मुझे दिया भी नहीं, अलग बात है, I'm just telling, मैंने एक जर्सी तक नहीं लिया, मैंने दे दिया for the improvement betterment of Indian football, I gave it that page। and उसका जो बेसिक प्रॉमिस किया था ना, वो भी AFF ने फुलफिल नहीं किया आज तक। so that's all India Football Federation for you, you know। so and मैं वो भी नहीं मांग रहा हूँ, बेसिक मतलब बेसिक एक प्रॉमिस था, वो एक पेपर पे सिर्फ वही मैंने एक बात लिखी थी, कोई बहुत बड़ी डिमांड, एक छोटी सी बात थी, मुझे सिर्फ अपना जो मैंने हार्डवर्क के लिए रखा था कि मुझे आप सिर्फ ऑनरी एडमिन रहने देना पेज से, हटा दिया गया वहाँ पेज से मतलब बिना बताए। दे डिडंट इवन हैव अ कर्टेसी टू टेल मी कि वी आर रिमूविंग फ्रॉम द पेज व्हिच यू बिल्ड फॉर इंडियन फुटबॉल थ्रू योर कॉलेज डेज ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग एंड पीपल एंड माय इंजीनियरिंग वाज टफ है, 70 सब्जेक्ट्स आई हैव रेड, वो क्लियर करना उस पेज, मैंने पेज ग्रो किया, 4-5 साल रहा मैं, मतलब रिसेंटली आई गॉट रिमूव्ड फ्रॉम दैट पेज नेक्स्ट ईयर, लास्ट ईयर व्हेन दिस न्यू regime came। I didn't told anyone, I reach out to AFF that, you know, that's the only thing I said ki I want to be lifetime admin of the page, you know, I will not do anything। I help AFF to build the transition in back in 2015, कैसे पोस्टिंग करनी है, क्या शेड्यूलिंग होता है, कैसे ग्राफिक्स बनाने हैं, सब कुछ बताया, उनके साथ काम किया। When I felt they're ready, I stopped posting on that page, and only condition I gave on that page that I want to be admin of that page, it's for my memory, right? It's my college day memory। That's how I came into Indian football। That page was very close to my heart। That page put me in touch with the Indian football team, young players that time around, you know, उनके थ्रू उनकी स्टोरीज में सामने लाया, उनके इश्यूज में सामने लाया। इंडियन फुटबॉल का पहला सोशल मीडिया पेज था भैया जो सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन इंडियन फुटबॉल के बारे में दे रहा था। ये उस जमाने की बात है जब आईएसएल भी नहीं आया था। This is before ISL, I started page in 2013 by the way। तो ये चीज़ होता है, you know, तो वो चीज़ है, तो you know, बट ठीक है, मतलब कहीं बताया नहीं, बट आज बता रहा हूँ। तो वो चीज़ है, नहीं मुझे जर्सी नहीं चाहिए, मैं खरीद लूंगा भाई, मैं ले लूंगा जर्सी, मैंने ले ली थी अपनी जर्सी। आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग, उस टाइम में मैं कॉलेज में था, you know, मैंने ये भी नहीं बोला कि मुझे, मैं कॉलेज से आया ही था जब अगस्त की, मेरा जुलाई मेरा डिग्री पूरी हुआ, मैं मिला एएफएफ के लोगों से एंड मैंने बोला कि मैं दे दूंगा, मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। मेरा ये था कि मेरा कंट्रीब्यूशन है इंडियन फुटबॉल से और मैं याद रखूंगा जिंदगी में मैंने कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट किया इंडियन फुटबॉल के लिए ऑफिशियल कैपेसिटी में। और एएफएफ ने बोला हम आपके ऊपर इंटरव्यू करेंगे, आपको हाईलाइट करेंगे, यू नो, कि आपने क्या काम किया, कैसे ग्रो किया, कॉलेज में कैसे कैसे आपने टाइम निकाला इसको ग्रो करने के लिए। मैंने कहा आप कर लेना भाई, मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, मुझे वो राइटिंग में नहीं चाहिए, बस आप मुझे इतना दे दो कि भैया मैं एडमिन रहूंगा, मुझे अपनी मेमोरीज के लिए रखना है और कुछ नहीं, ठीक है। एंड वो भी नहीं फुलफिल हुआ, वो अलग कहानी है। मुझे कहा इंटरव्यू, मुझे पता है आप प्रॉमिस कर रहे होगा कि नहीं होगा, को पता नहीं है। उनका हम लोगों को बताएंगे कैसे इंडियन फुटबॉल फैन ने ये करा है, यू नो। उन्होंने कहा बताना प्लीज। मैंने कहा मैं तो कभी किसी को बताया नहीं, आप बताना। तो आज बात निकली तो बातों में बोल दिया मैंने, तो वो चीज़ है। Any thoughts on next week Champions League and AFC Cup fixtures? I think very important Champions League games and the AFC Cup games. I really hope both Odisha and Mohun Bagan take it AFC Cup very seriously. We need Indian clubs to do well, make sure help each other in terms of by defeating Bangladesh, Nepali team and Maldives team, you know, because that's how it should be between Mohun Bagan and Odisha FC to go to the next round. Very sad. Only in Asia happens that two clubs from same country playing in the continental tournament in a same group. Only in Asia. That's with AFC only. Bro, can you make me moderator? Of course we can. Is our women team football team strong? Our Indian women's football team is tier 2 in Asia, very honestly, and there's a big gap between tier 2 and tier 3, and very big gap between tier 1 and tier 2. It's not that competitive as like men's football. उनका आपस में मैच है तो आपस में तो देखो जो अच्छा करेगा वही खेलेगा, बट एटलीस्ट मेक श्योर दे विन देयर ईच एंड एवरी गेम अगेंस्ट नेपाली टीम एंड बांग्लादेशी। आई डोंट वांट टू गेट माय नेपाली फैंस एंड बांग्लादेशी फैंस पिंगिंग मी एंड सेंडिंग मी मैसेज एंड ट्रोलिंग मी जस्ट बिकॉज दे डिफीटेड और ड्रॉ अगेंस्ट इंडियन क्लब्स। ब्रो when will strength and practice video ISL clubs come? साहू जी करना तो मैं चाहता था पर थोड़ा टाइम नहीं लगा, बट आई थिंक विल स्टार्ट सम टेक्टिकल वीडियोस बेस्ड ऑन द गेम्स, कुछ हाईलाइट करने की कोशिश करेंगे। भाई कोई नहीं, अब आप सीईओ हो, तुम खुद के ही उनके लाइफ टाइम जर्सी खरीद ले। अरे मुझे जर्सी वो लालच में बता रहा हूँ, उन्होंने बोला था ये करेंगे वो करेंगे, बट कुछ हुआ नहीं। मैंने सिर्फ एक कंडीशन डाली थी कि मुझे एडमिन रहना है पेज में, मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए। पेपर भी कुछ नहीं है, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट 1 पेजर एग्रीमेंट मैंने साइन करके दे दिया था। उनका आप पेज पे लिख के भेज दो और साइन कर दो, मैंने कर दिया था। मैंने सवाल भी नहीं उठाए ये क्या है क्या नहीं है। तो मुझे नहीं चाहिए, मैं बता रहा हूँ कि मतलब उन्होंने बोला आपको हम ये देंगे वो देंगे, आपके ऊपर इंटरव्यू करेंगे, सीरीज करेंगे आपके ऊपर वेबसाइट के ऊपर, लोगों को बताएंगे कैसे आपने किया है। मैंने कहा ठीक है बताओगे, ठीक है बता देना। हाउ मेनी डेज कैंप वी कैन एक्सपेक्ट फॉर वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर्स? आई थिंक मिनिमम 9 to 10 days. ईशान पंडित का इंजरी कितना, आई थिंक नॉट क्रिटिकल, ही शुड बी बैक इन द फर्स्ट मंथ ऑफ ISL ओनली। आई थिंक अक्टूबर में शायद आपको अगर वो खेलते हैं क्लब तो नेशनल टीम में भी दिखेंगे। अगले साल से तो चैंपियंस लीग भी नहीं क्वालिफाई कर पाएंगे, इससे अच्छा है कि एक AFC कप और एक थर्ड टायर में ही देना चाहिए। इंडिया विल बी देयर इन द चैंपियंस लीग 2 एंड द थर्ड टायर में नहीं रहेगा, इंडिया सिर्फ चैंपियंस लीग 2 खेल रहा है। व्हाट्स योर टेक ऑन द एशियन गेम स्क्वाड? वेरी वीक, इट्स लाइक assembled squad, but I hope remaining 5 spots, if they can fill it with the 5 proper players, defenders, fullbacks and midfielders, then it might look good. अटैक में मुझे लगता है ठीक है, छेत्री, राहुल KP, गुरप्रीत, दे आर गुड प्लेयर्स, दे माइट हेल्प। मेरा नाम आशीष है भाई। भाई ISL में टीम इंक्रीज करवाओ मिनिमम। मैं जा रहा हूँ भाई, अभी जा रहा हूँ FSDL के पास और IFF के पास 16 टीम करवाने के लिए। मैंने एक बात बोली कि देखो एकदम से 16 करके फायदा नहीं है, थोड़ा टाइम दो आप, धीरे धीरे ही बेटर रहेगा। हमारे पे इतनी क्वालिटी ऑफ प्लेयर्स भी नहीं है, हम 16 टीम करा के क्वालिटी डिप हो जाएगा और कुछ नहीं। नेक्स्ट इज 100 एपिसोड, आई होप सो। इज देयर एनी चांस दैट CMAC गेट्स 3 to 4 week प्रिपरेशन कैंप बिफोर एशिया कप? नो, 2 हफ्ते ही मिलने वाला है जहाँ तक लगता है। ईगोर कितना लंबा चलेगा क्या लगता है मुझे? मैं ट्वीट करूंगा, अभी मैं करूंगा। ईगोर CMAC शुड गेट अ न्यू कॉन्ट्रैक्ट विद AFF irrespective of the recent scenarios. He deserved the new contract and we don't want any uncertainty going to the Asia Cup and the World Cup qualifiers when the coach is not aware about when his future is sorting out. What was sponsorship for Hero ISL? Suraj, Hero has gone out of Indian football completely. There will be new sponsor on board, but will take some time. It's not going to come very soon. Bro, any positive news? Positive news. Wenger coming to India, if that is a positive, that's one. No sign of youth leagues. How can I give any positive news? I think we should speak out Jyoti doing well, Manisha Kalyan doing well, for the women's soccer. कोई और पॉजिटिव न्यूज़ तो मेरे पास है नहीं भाई इस टाइम पे। मेसी को बुलाओ ISL में, जल्दी बुलाते हैं। Yeah, ISL back in Delhi. I will be there in the stands whenever I can. That football page you're talking about, reason I got interest in the Indian football, Ankur Jain. मुझे पता है यार, मैंने हिंदी बेल्ट में, of course Indian football was very popular that time in Bengal, Goa. केरला में भी उतना था नहीं उस टाइम पे, बिकॉज केरला ब्लास्टर नहीं थे, तो केरला पुलिस वाज द लास्ट क्लब आई थिंक प्लेड इन द आई लीग दैट टाइम। साउथ में भी बैंगलोर आया था, बेंगलुरु FC, कोई साउथ का क्लब नहीं खेलता था उस टाइम पे आई लीग में। एंड माई मेन आइडिया वॉज कि कैसे मैं मेन स्ट्रीम लोगों को इंडियन फुटबॉल में इंटरेस्ट करूं। मैंने यूथ टीम्स के वीडियोस बनाने चालू किए, यूथ टीम की पोस्टिंग करनी चालू की, बताया मैच कहाँ आएगा, कैसे आएगा, प्लेयर्स के इश्यूज हाईलाइट करे, कब टीम खेल रही है, कब टीम सेलेक्ट हुई, ये इन्फॉर्मेशन ही नहीं थी सोशल मीडिया में उस टाइम पे। फेसबुक मतलब विच वॉज द बिगेस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म एट दैट टाइम, and luckily I was good with it, and I put hours, I put my 2 years of my life into it, and I didn't thought twice when AFF said कि हमें पेज चाहिए क्योंकि वर्ल्ड कप आ रहा है और वहाँ पे कुछ है नहीं, सोशल मीडिया प्रेजेंस नहीं है, आप दे दीजिए, मैंने दे दिया। बट मेरा यही था कि कैसे हम मेन स्ट्रीम लोगों को इंटरेस्ट कर, आप कोशिश कर रहे हैं खेलना होगा थ्रू सेम चीज़ करने की, डिफरेंट स्टाइल, डिफरेंट वे टू डू इट, बट दैट्स द थिंग। एंड जो लोग देख रहे हैं उनके लिए मैं जो कल वीडियो आने वाला है उसकी अर्ली रिलीज आपको दे देता हूँ, पिन कर देता हूँ कमेंट पे, आप जाके देख लेना, आफ्टर दिस वीडियो देख लेना, ठीक है। अभी वीडियो मत छोड़ना, बट वो अर्ली रिलीज है आप लोगों के लिए, टू द पीपल हु आर रेगुलर ऑन इनसाइड इंडियन फुटबॉल, उनके लिए है, तो लीक मत करना किसी और के, आप लोगों के लिए। आप देखो, पिन कर दिया है मैंने कमेंट सेक्शन में और डिस्क्रिप्शन में भी डाल देता हूँ, सो यू गाइस कैन वॉच द वीडियो अर्ली, सब डिटेल वीडियो, आप लोग फीडबैक दे देना अर्ली। मैं एक लिंक डाल देता हूँ, वीडियो लिंक फॉर टुमारो, डिस्क्रिप्शन में भी डाल दिया है, वैसे भी डाल दिया, अर्ली रिलीज फॉर ऑल द इनसाइड इंडियन फुटबॉल वॉचर। 200 लोग देख रहे हैं, तो यू गाइस कैन वॉच इट अर्ली। अभी मत जाना, don't leave now, leave after the video ends, leave after 200, if you see drop in the audience, I'm going to stop the video right now. 207 people will watch it, you can watch it a bit later. PFC versus Odisha in Delhi, don't know how the fans from Delhi welcome Odisha team who was earlier Delhi Dynamo, that's going to be very interesting. देखो मैंने कहा अभी जाना मत, 188 लोग हो गए, I think more than 20 people have gone, even I said जल्दी दे दिया। What expectation from Mumbai City FC, Mohan Bagan, Odisha FC and Asian Games? So let's come with Mumbai City FC. They had 7 points in the last Champions League. I want Mumbai City FC to qualify from group stage, and I really want Mumbai to do well. Not just for themselves. Of course, they have invested lots of money in Indian football, but not for themselves, for Indian football. I don't want to them. I want Odisha and Mohan Bagan to make sure they defeat every SAF club and Of course, whoever is the best go out of the group stage. Try to reach as far as possible to the last stage of AFC Cup. Try to win that. That's my expectation. In Asian Games, what I hope that we can create some heroes, some new players for the next qualifiers window, October matches and the AFC Asia Cup. Some position still 3-4 position khali hai Asia Cup ke liye. So that's my expectation from the Asian Games. You know, I'm not hoping India wins medal. See, Indian football mein na abhi progress is important. मेडल्स विनिंग ये एक्सपेक्टेशन आप मत करो. अभी है प्रोग्रेस, राइट स्टेप. वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट प्रोग्रेस कैन बी इंडियन फुटबॉल राइट नाउ is go to the next round of the World Cup qualifiers. That is a bigger than the medal in the Asian Games. I am telling you, Asian Game medal is not going to solve anything. It's a youth tournament, not going to solve anything. If we can progress to the next stage of the World Cup qualifier, that's the biggest thing Indian football can do right now. That should be ultimate priority for the Indian football to go to the next round of the World Cup qualifiers. And if we can reach to the next round of the AFC Asian Cup, that can be second biggest priority. I don't think Asian Games medal, even if we win the medal, is not going to change anything for Indian football. That's the honest reality of Asian Games, how the people treat Asian Games and everything. Very honest. It's not even a qualifier, it's not even a FIFA ranking points, it's nothing, it's a youth tournament. That's the reality of it and that's the story of it. Attacking midfielder चाहिए, सहल है, ब्रेंडन है, उसके अलावा अगर आपको चाहिए देखें. Any exciting big clubs in lower division? I think Srinidhi is very exciting. You know what type of infra they have. That's the very interesting. Gokulam can grow if they. Kerala has enough space for 2 Kerala clubs, and I really want the Gokulam and Kerala Blaster rivalry to be built and to have second actual derby in Indian football after Kolkata derby to maybe Kerala derby, state derby, not a city derby, but that's the actual derby, not South Indian derby, not the derbies which ISL promotes. I want actual derbies, to be there. Do you think India can reach AFF aim to top 10 in Asia 2026? I doubt it. I also doubt it. There's a reason why Stimac should get contract. Don't tell they have a World Cup qualifier because it does not tell that he direction. We don't have other option to bring new coach. That's 2 reasons. We don't have a time to bring a new coach. World Cup qualifiers is there, which is very important. But Stimac has done the basic thing right. Qualified to the Asia Cup. His team is playing good football. Won the 3 tournaments in the summer. I think those are enough reasons, 5-6 reasons why he should get a new contract. यूथ लीग का कोई सीन नहीं भाई, पता क्या सीन है. इज इट असम इज रिज्यूमिंग देयर स्टेट लीग? आशीष भाई रिप्लाई कर दो प्लीज. सुना है मैंने रेलिक वीएएल नॉर्थ ईस्ट एंड असम फेडरेशन आर वर्किंग टुगेदर टू डू समथिंग. आई विल ब्रिंग डिटेल्स इन नेक्स्ट वीडियो फॉर श्योर. पीपल सेइंग दैट आवर वुमेन टीम गोना क्वालिफाई वर्ल्ड कप इज नेक्स्ट एडिशन. पोशाली नग, देखो वही चीज है ना, लेवल मैंने बताया 3 टायर इन एशियन फुटबॉल फॉर वुमेन्स टीम. Tier 1 and Tier 2, we are in Tier 2 right now. Big difference between Tier 1 and Tier 2 team. Big difference. It's not as competitive as the men's football, by the way. So, how ISL clubs earlier 1 week will be released playing the World Cup qualification matches? I think there's a gap in November for the same. 200 people watching. Please like the stream, subscribe if you haven't. Of course, good job. Is it possible to Mumbai City to archive second spot, or what will happen if Mumbai City and Melbourne City FC face each other? I think that's the same thing if Leipzig and Red Bull Salzburg play in the Champions League or the Europa League. Nothing is going to happen. I think they can definitely be the second in the group, Mumbai City FC. Good chance they have this time around. Ashish bhai, Subroto Cup to फिर से start हुआ है ना? That is the youth cup, right? Not done by AIFF. It's done by Indian Air Force. Done by we are very proud of Indian Air Force and our forces. Durand Cup and Subroto Cup. And it's the biggest youth tournament in Asia, Subroto Cup. Pre-Subroto and Subroto if आप match करते हैं तो nothing to do with the AFF in that. They are not organizing party for that. I think not AFC. I think not AFC Cup World Cup qualifiers is most important. मतलब Asia Cup and Ghosh ji agree. AFC second round में first match World Cup qualifiers. Next round में 16 home away matches हैं. I'm a big camp for World Cup qualifiers. 7 days okay for AFC. घोष जी आपने मेरा वीडियो देखा ही है वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर्स वाला. जिन्होंने नहीं देखा जाके देख सकते हैं, इसी चैनल पे है. मेरे लिए तो वो दी अल्टीमेट थिंग है. Is as important as playing in World Cup in next 10 years if you do well in the World Cup qualifiers right now. Why are forwards like Ishan Pandita, Aniket Jadhav not given chance ahead of Rahim Ali? He got enough number of chances. He is not showing much improvement. ईशान पंडिता फिट नहीं है, दैट्स वन थिंग. अनिकेत का तो आई कांट से इज पार्ट ऑफ द स्क्वाड में है नहीं, दैट्स सेकंड थिंग. भाई वॉच अलॉन्ग में हमने देखा था स्टीमैक्स के गले में वो माला, पक्का एस्ट्रोलॉजर ने दिया होगा उसको. स्टीमैक्स ने अभी तक संभाल के रखा है. और मैंने उस टाइम पे नहीं पता था कि स्टीमैक्स, मुझे पता था बट मैंने हाईलाइट पर मैंने भी बोला था क्या स्टीमैक्स ये माला किसी ने दी है क्या, इसके बाबा वगैरह ने. मैंने कहा किसी पंडित है क्या टीम में हमारे जिन्होंने माला दी है. ऑफ कोर्स आई कुडंट कनेक्ट द डॉट्स एट दैट टाइम. मे बी क्वाइट पॉसिबल. If Chetri scores in Asian Games, then it will be included in the official international goal list. No, it's a youth tournament. Expectation for India under-19 team. Any expectation? Are they better than previous batch? Which under-19 team? That's also important. And I'm very surprised with the selection. Of course, different coach. So he need a different, he has a different requirement. So that's why I selected different players. Not many players are there from under-17 Asia Cup team, which is very surprising. So all different squad. Ideally, that should have been in continuity, but they have age group in their time to play next under-19 qualifiers. So that's why they've not selected. What happened when Apuia is really harsh? Office से आते आते live देखा रहा था आपका. Keep up the good work. Overload 5 to 5 vote. Thank you very much. That's a cross, I think. What about VR Light? नहीं होगा भाई, भूल जाओ. When will Il Kehati join Mumbai camp? Is he available for the first match against Nasaji? I think he will be there for the Champions League match. Chirag Rawat. I am not sure he has joined the camp yet or not. I have to check. He might have joined. I have to check. Not confirm. Wenger confirm India's and coming any update. अक्टूबर में आ रहे हैं Wenger जी. देखते हैं क्या मिलेगा इंडियन फुटबॉल को उससे. AFF should arrange under-19, under-23 games in every FIFA window. Ankur Jain have been saying again and again and again to you. दैट ये होना चाहिए और मैं बहुत बड़ा फैन हूँ. आशीष भाई अपुया ने शुड हैव डन सांचो 2.0. क्या वो ट्विटर पे जा. अरे यार देखो ना, यही तो बात है ना. मैं अपुया को जानता हूँ, आप जानते हो. मतलब ऑफ कोर्स अपुया को अंडर 16 डेज से देख रहा हूँ. कुछ प्लेयर्स होते हैं जो अच्छे हैं, मीडिया में बात करते हैं, इंटरव्यूज ट्वीट करते हैं, इंस्टाग्राम स्टोरी डालते हैं, यू नो दे आर वोकल अबाउट इट, देयर फीलिंग्स. मीजो प्लेयर्स, एंड ये इसके लिए ना आपको इंडियन फुटबॉल को समझना पड़ेगा. इंडियन फुटबॉल के जो प्लेयर्स हैं दे कम्स फ्रॉम डिफरेंट रीजन. There is a Punjabi players, you know, who have a swag and, you know, very cool and chilled, very, very outspoken. We have seen them on videos. You know, then you've got Chetri, the legend. He can, of course, express himself. Then there's a player from Goa who have different kind of personality. They remain in themselves. They don't speak too much. There's a player from Bengal. Then there's a player from South India who has a different kind of personality. Then there's a player from Northeast. Northeast itself is a very different territory in terms of language, in terms of emotions, in terms of how they express themselves. So there is a Manipuri players. They are very different in terms of Mizoram player. Mizoram players are in generally they kept themselves inside. They don't express themselves. They are not very vocal about what they are feeling, which might not be case for Manipuri player. तो ये मुझको पता है क्योंकि मैं देख रहा हूँ इंडियन फुटबॉल, समझ रहा हूँ. आपको पता है तो साइकोलॉजिस्ट को तो पता होना ही चाहिए था वैसे तो. अब वो तो आप तो डिग्री होल्डर हो सर, आप तो दिमाग से पढ़ लेते हो लोगों का, तो आपका काम होना चाहिए. तो आप इंस्टेड ऑफ प्लेयर को पूछने को आप चले गए चाची, जस्ट घर में चाची ताई होती ना, सीधे बुआ मम्मी के पास पापा के पास कंप्लेंट करने बच्चे की स्ट्रेट अवे. बच्चे से पूछ तो लेते भैया, क्यों नहीं भरा तूने, क्वेश्चन समझ में नहीं आएगा तुझको, फीलिंग तुझे समझ में नहीं आया क्या. कई बार होता है यार, मुझे कोई क्वेश्चन दे दे, मुझे नहीं समझ में आता कि मुझे क्या लिखना चाहिए उस चीज में. Because I need some time to bring my thoughts in, you know. इसलिए मेरे वीडियोस, मैं ऑफलाइन वीडियोस करता क्यों नहीं, बहुत कम करता हूँ क्योंकि मैं अपनी फीलिंग छोटे वो जो वीडियो अभी डाला है 25 मिनट का वीडियो है. कोई और होता ना वो स्क्रिप्ट बना के बढ़िया 5 मिनट का वीडियो बना के क्लोज कर देता. बट आई एम नॉट गुड इन टर्म्स ऑफ एक्सप्रेसिंग माई सेल्फ, माई ओपिनियंस, इंफॉर्मेशन इन अ शॉर्ट स्पैन ऑफ अ टाइम. आई नीड टाइम, you know. And I always say people to around in my company that if किसी को कन्विंस करना है, if I give me half an hour I can convince. If I say convince that person in 2 minutes, I can't do it. And I feel that in my work also. तो जैसे वीडियो बनाना होता है, वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर्स का वीडियो भी 30 मिनट का हो गया. कल मैंने वीडियो शूट किया, मुझे लगा मैंने बढ़िया छोटा वीडियो बना दिया है. आई आस्क अंकुश कितना बड़ा वीडियो बना है, कहता है सर 27 मिनट्स. मैंने कहा अरे तो वही बन गया यार, मैं पूरा तैयारी करके आया हूँ, सोचा 10 मिनट के अंदर रैप अप कर दूंगा. तो आई एम नॉट गुड इन टू इट. बट देयर आर अदर पीपल ऑन यूट्यूब हु आर वेरी गुड. यू नो, आप ध्रुव राठी को देख लीजिए, आप इंडियन यूट्यूबर्स भी हैं कुछ करते हैं, दे आर वेरी गुड. वो 3-4 मिनट में इशू सॉल्व कर लेते हैं, समझा देते हैं. मेरा तरीका अलग है, मैं थोड़ा अलग तरीके से बात करता हूँ, डिटेल में जाता हूँ, दूसरी साइड समझाता हूँ, बाकी लोग में भी दूसरे एंगल से कर लेते. तो आई थिंक सेम विद द प्लेयर्स, राइट. सम प्लेयर्स माइट बी गुड इन राइटिंग, सम आर नॉट. सम प्लेयर मे बी गुड इन एक्सप्रेसिंग द फीलिंग, सम आर नॉट. और साइकोलॉजिस्ट को तो ये बात पता होना चाहिए, वो साइकोलॉजिस्ट है. पता नहीं कितने उसने, अगर वो है डिग्री खरीद कर लाया, झोला छाप वाला साइकोलॉजिस्ट तो अलग कहानी. हो भी सकता है भाई, जो काम किया तो झोला छाप भी हो सकता है. डिग्री खरीदी होगी, इंडिया में बिकती है डिग्रियां, खरीदी भी होगी, और जुगाड़ से पहुंच गया यहाँ पे, नेशनल टीम में साइकोलॉजिस्ट बन गया है. आई डोंट नो, आई हैव नॉट सीन हिज सीवी, पर जो उसने काम हरकत करी वो झोला छाप वाली हरकत करी है. वेरी ऑनेस्ट. This season Champions League games will have 6 foreign players in 11. Yes, 6 foreign player in not 6, 5 plus 1. 5 foreigners, 1 from Asia. Unlimited foreign players can be registered in a squad of 35.
So you can have 35 foreigners if you want, but you can only play 5+1 in the squad.
Because of two teams in one group, AFC our class won't be able to get the maximum points from the group stage, but I hope they do well in the later stage. That's important. AFF should work on multiple companies sponsorship for ISL. This is the right time when the companies get sponsored in multiple way. The way single company will not own AFF should have been authorities. FSDL मतलब ISL के लिए FSDL करेगी, AFF नहीं करती है, FSDL करती है. Even in Germany blog we saw during under 17 team preparation the boy was Northeast too, and that's again वही मैं कहता हूँ, मैंने प्लेयर के साथ टाइम स्पेंड किया है. वो प्लेयर कुछ प्लेयर ऐसा बोलते ही नहीं है वो. And I tried, I motivated to, and coach Bibiano was very vocal कि आप you should talk to different players always. उन्होंने हर बार दूसरे प्लेयर को बुलाया कि सेम प्लेयर को एक्सपोजर मत दीजिए. आई वांट माय ईच एंड एवरी प्लेयर टू फेस द कैमरा, टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस रियलिटी आल्सो, सो दैट दे कैन प्रिपेयर फॉर इट. एंड दोस प्लेयर who don't speak in front of camera, they are one of the best on the pitch in that team. You know, Pekka Ralte, he said I can't, you know, the Pekka Ralte है, दो तीन प्लेयर और थे, वो नहीं बोले कैमरा के सामने, नहीं बोले. मैंने सिंपल क्वेश्चन पूछा कौन जीता, वो तब भी नहीं बोले. तो पर वो मुझे पता है, मैंने उनको फोर्स नहीं किया, मैंने कंप्लेंट नहीं कर दी जाके बिबियानो को, कोच को जाके. देखो कोच तो बोल नहीं सके, प्लेयर तो बात ही नहीं कर रहा है यार, कैसा प्लेयर दिया मुझे आपने कहा इसका इंटरव्यू लियो तो बात ही नहीं. मैंने ये नहीं बोला, मैंने आई वेंट पुट माय हैंड ऑन हिज शोल्डर एंड ट्राई टू मेक हिम कंफर्टेबल. ऑफ कैमरा बात करी, यू नो, एंड दैट्स हाउ. इवन व्हेन रणविजय वाज देयर, सम प्लेयर्स, मुझे याद है वो रणविजय से बात कर रहे थे, फोटो खिंचा रहे थे, सेल्फी, वीडियो कॉल. कुछ प्लेयर्स नहीं कर रहे थे. तब मैंने और रणविजय ने बोला, उनको बुलाया, उनको इनवाइट किया, डिनर टेबल पे बैठे, एंड रणविजय टुक इट ओवर एंड ही मेक देम कंफर्टेबल. पर रणविजय ने जाके बिबियानो को कंप्लेंट नहीं करी, अरे बिबियानो सर ये देखो प्लेयर मेरे से बात नहीं कर रहा है, यू नो. तो ये मतलब मैं भी आई वाज देयर ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ बुंडेसलीगा. आई कैन आस्क बुंडेसलीगा, ये प्लेयर मेरे से इंटरव्यू में तो बात ही नहीं कर रहा यार. That's not how things are done. And you know, that's important point, and these vlogs are on this channel, and that's the reason for me to go to Germany to bring that side of Indian football. You know, ये चीज आपको बताएगा ही नहीं, क्योंकि उसको पता ही नहीं है ना, कैसे बताएगा. ट्विटर पे वॉरियर बन रहे हैं लोग, उनको लग रहा है सब चीज ट्विटर पे हो जाती है. ग्राउंड रियलिटी इनको पता ही, एक्चुअल रियलिटी इनको बताने चाहो उनको लगता है आप नेगेटिविटी फैला रहे हैं. अरे आपको ग्राउंड रियलिटी तो पता हो क्या है क्या नहीं है, किन चीजों को यकीन करना आप देख तो लो, पहले जान तो लो हुआ क्या है एक्चुअल में. उनको लगता है मेरा ये बताना कि 11 प्लेयर को रिटर्न टिकट मिलेगा ये हैमर कर रहा है इंडियन फुटबॉल टीम को. मैं नेगेटिव साइड बता रहा हूं. अरे तो बताऊंगा नहीं तो आपको पता कैसे रहेगा, आप जज करो ना गलत क्या सही क्या. पहले जान तो लो पहले पूरी बात. बिना जाने कैसे बोल सकते हो क्या चीज गलत और क्या चीज सही है. मैंने तो कभी नहीं बोला भैया एफएफ की गलती है. मैंने बताया क्या हुआ क्या नहीं हुआ. 12 प्लेयर को नहीं मिला भैया, वो अभी भी वहीं खड़े हैं, उनको आना था वापस एज पर एएफएफ लेटर. और ये लेटर मैंने उस वीडियो में डाला है. 11 सितंबर को प्लेयर्स को वापस आना था, 10 को लास्ट मैच था. 11 सितंबर इवनिंग को सबको इंडिया में होना था. नोबडी, इवन द प्लेयर नॉन एशियन गेम्स प्लेयर्स रीच लेट इन द 11th afternoon and evening. Igor should have asked Apuia about what's the problem, and that's my problem. But as I said, we don't know what was the conversation between the psychologist and the so-called psychologist and Igor's team match. That's the benefit of doubt I can give to the coach. He's a great father figure for many of these players. He have treated these players very well. But that's the only doubt I have, that I'm not aware of psychologist and the Igor's team match conversation, and I can't claim any thing. The things I know, I've shared very openly in this video. I held that information for 2-3 months, but I think now information was out, so there is no point of keeping that information with me. I think it's a good time to bring out and share the other side of the story, because एक और point है ना, उस story में भी देखोगे जो story आई है Times of India में, उसमें actual detail देखो, print पे story आई है, तो of course they can't share write a lot. So मैंने तो कंप्लीट बैकग्राउंड आपको दे दिया उस चीज के बारे में. तो बाकी उस चीज में ये इंडियन फुटबॉल ट्विटर बहुत गंदा है भाई, कुछ भी मान लेता है भाई. वहां पे तो भगवान बना रहे हैं. देखो उनको लगता है कि भैया जो पॉजिटिव बातें करते हैं वही अच्छे हैं. जो लोग अगर थोड़ा क्रिटिकल बातें करते हैं, दोनों साइड की पिक्चरें बताते हैं, हम गंदे हैं. मैं अगर क्रिटिकल पॉइंट हमने मतलब गिवन खेलना हो, broke the story which in terms media story of negative story है ISL की, कि heroes pulling out from ISL on the day of the media day. हम according to people भैया हमें तो FSGL पैसे दे रहा है. अगर भैया FSGL पैसे दे रहा होता तो पता नहीं खेलना हो क्या क्या कर रहा होता अब तक, यू नो, क्योंकि हम तो भैया सबसे बड़े हैं इंडियन फुटबॉल में. मैं डंके की चोट पे कह रहा हूँ, नंबर्स देख लो सब कुछ है, तो दे रहा होता मैं तो पता नहीं कहाँ बैठा होता अब तक. मैं शायद दुबई में ऑफिस खोल चुका होता, यू नो, मेन स्ट्रीम न्यूज चैनल खोल लिया होता मैंने. ऐसा होता ना भाई, काश दे रहे होते. मैं भी कह रहा हूँ ऐसा इंडियन फुटबॉल में अगर स्पॉन्सरशिप होती ना तो मुझे क्रिकेट चालू करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती, कबड्डी करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती, राइट. मैं मोबाइल ऐप्स लाने की नहीं सोचता, राइट. बिना ये हमें 8 साल नहीं लग जाते स्टूडियो बनाने के लिए. मैं एक वेबकैम से वीडियो करता था इस चैनल के ऊपर, the people who have seen inside Indian football from very first, they know about it. तो वो चीज है, ऐसा नहीं है जैसा आप लोगों को लगता है. Any telecast update of Champions League and FC का fan code पे streaming है, but I think Viacom I think पे आएगा. Please on behalf of fan ask this question to Igor. What happened to sir about Igor? Igor सर भी नाराज है मेरे से, तो बात करने की कोशिश करूंगा. 18 बंदे ही जाएंगे एशियन गेम्स में, फाइनल है क्या? नहीं, आई थिंक अभी और कुछ ऐड हो सकते हैं, देखते हैं. फ्यूचर ऑफ हैदराबाद एफसी, भैया कुछ इनसाइड इन्फॉर्मेशन दो मिश्रा हर्ष. आई थिंक फ्यूचर तो देखो, क्लब तो रहेगा, कहीं जाएगा नहीं, बट अभी थोड़ा सा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, बट आई थिंक दे कमिंग आउट ऑफ इट. Can Minerva World Cup 2034 boys be included in the next under 16 team? That's dependent on under 16 coach and how the boys do well. I think Ranjit and Minerva has done a great work for Indian football. But again, I will say again, one reality picture here also. India cannot play World Cup by just having 20-23 players. जापान की कोच की बात ना, मैंने अपनी कहते हैं ना गांठ बांध लो उस बात को. मैं उस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में था थाईलैंड में अंडर 17 जापान एंड इंडिया की बात में. वो उनका एक मेरे ऊपर उन्होंने ताना मारा एज अ इंडियन, ओनली इंडियन इन द हॉल, और एक अच्छी मुझे उन्होंने एक सबक सिखाया, कह लो आप कह लो सबक सिखाया और कुछ भी कह लो. मैं बहुत प्राउड था इंडिया की परफॉर्मेंस में. उन्होंने बात बोली, मतलब मैं हिंदी बोलता हूँ शॉर्ट करके, बोलते ना बहुत एक्सपीरियंस सीनियर कोच है. बेटा जितने 23 प्लेयर ये जापान के यहाँ पे हैं, इतने ही अच्छे 4 टीमें जापान में हैं हमारी जो यहाँ आए नहीं है. दे आर जस्ट अनलकी नॉट टू बी हियर. व्हेन वी कैन से अबाउट इंडियन टीम एट एनी लेवल दैट दीज 23 प्लेयर आर नॉट our best players. They are here because of the team combination, and we have at least 50 players in the same age group who are ready to play India. Then we can say that one day we'll play the World Cup. Ranjit, Minerva have done a fantastic job, as I said, but we can't pin our hope only on one project, only set of 15 players. That's what happened in FIFA Under 17 World Cup. Go and check that squad and check how many of those players have got successful. आप उसका परसेंटेज निकाल लेना. आज उसमें से कितने प्लेयर हमारे सीनियर टीम के लिए खेल रहे हैं, परसेंटेज निकाल लोगे ना, वही परसेंटेज होता है यूथ टीम्स का. वर्ल्ड वाइड सेट फॉर्मूला है. इंग्लैंड की अंडर 17 वर्ल्ड कप टीम जो इंडिया जीती है, उसका सक्सेस रेट आप देख लो, कितने प्लेयर्स टॉप प्रीमियर लीग क्लब्स के लिए खेल रहे हैं उस टीम में से, आप सक्सेस रेट निकाल के, तो वर्ल्ड कप विनिंग टीम का. तो आप एक 24-23 स्क्वाड के ऊपर आप पिन नहीं कर सकते होप अपनी. एंड दैट्स व्हाट जापानीज कोच गिव मी अ गुड लेसन. मैं बहुत खुश हो रहा था. मैंने थोड़ा बोला कि क्या इंडियन फुटबॉल कर सकता है. उन्होंने बोला इंडियन फुटबॉल ये कर सकता है कि आपको जो ये 23 प्लेयर आपने यहां भेजे हैं ना, इसके अलावा कम से कम 50 प्लेयर घर में रेडी करने हैं इस टीम में खेलने के लिए, तब आप शायद आगे प्रोग्रेस कर पाओगे. FC Goa change in management, your views? What I'm told, the views, Akshay of course getting it out of the club. Now he is we will see club from outside, not involved in a day-to-day operation as a owner. Ravi has been promoted to CEO. He was doing the job mostly of the CEO already. So, and Parimal coming to the who is a former FC Pune FC guys coming to club. What I'm told, Goa might explore an option of raising an investment in next 1 year or 1.5 years. That I'm told, and this restructuring is done to prepare a base work for that investment. It can be a European club, it can be a business, another big business coming in together, FC Goa, and they have a good plan to build their own stadium, own academy, own facilities, FC Goa, and that's this positive step they have taken toward it. We can select under 23 players from I-League. There is a lot of talents, I agree. Bro, IFF 2026 target qualifiers FIFA Under 17 World Cup. I don't know. Khel now, inside Indian football should be done by Ashish on Sports 18 is something I dream of. I think one day maybe. Next Thursday, the most expected Southern rivalry in ISL opening inside in episode. What's a big, what's special? Bye, congratulations on the new milestone. I thank you very much. और आप लोगों को भी congratulations है कि हम लोग 100 एपिसोड कर पाए हैं because there's इंटरेस्ट एंड एवरीथिंग. एंड मुझे लोग बोलते हैं घंटे भर का वीडियो क्यों बनाते हो भाई. हम लोग आते हैं, मैंने कहा यार ये ना मैं चाहता हूँ मैं छोटा वीडियो बनाना, मैं भाग सकता हूँ 10-15 मिनट करके और पब्लिक को, पर मैंने कहा मुझे लगता है कि ना मैं जब तक मुझे शांति नहीं मिलती, सेटिस्फेक्शन नहीं मिलता, वर्क सेटिस्फेक्शन, मुझे लगता है कि मैं एक भी क्वेश्चन ना मिस कर जाऊं लोगों का. वो वेट करते हैं हफ्ते भर, मुझे इंस्टाग्राम ट्विटर पे लिखते हैं, मैं बोलता हूँ आऊंगा, और मुझे मेरे लिए अब मैं जाऊं यहाँ से, मेरे लिए खुशी रहेगी कि मैंने यहाँ मेजॉरिटी आंसर्स मैंने कर दिए हैं। कोई भी बंदा इस शो से खत्म होने के बाद ये ना बोले यार मेरे सवाल का जवाब नहीं मिला मुझे आज, चाहे मुझे जवाब ना पता हो, मैं तब भी वो क्वेश्चन लेता हूँ, बोलता हूँ, मैं अगले हफ्ते उसकी इन्फॉर्मेशन लेके आऊंगा। लोगों ने मुझे 4-4 हफ्ते सेम सवाल पूछे, मैंने हर हफ्ते यही बात बोली, बट आई स्टिल डू इट एंड आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाट आप, मुझे पता है ज्यादा लोग नहीं देखते, 200 लोग देखते हैं, 200 कोई बड़ा नंबर नहीं है लोगों के लिए। और कई लोग इंडस्ट्री में बोलते हैं कि यू नो व्हाई ही डज इट 1 आवर शो एवरी वीक, आई डोंट नो व्हाई यू नो 1 घंटा क्यों करता है, बिकॉज बाकी लोगों का रहता है वो अपना आते अपनी बातें करते ज्ञान देते चले जाते हैं। मेरे लिए यार ज्ञान ही तो सभी हैं और कोई इतना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड गेम है नहीं फुटबॉल। मेरे लिए है कि लोगों के सवाल हैं, उनको देखो अंदर की चीज़ें नहीं पता, हम थोड़े प्रिविलेज कह लो या कुछ कह लो, हम इन्वॉल्व इतने सालों से तो थोड़ी चीज़ें पता होती हैं, तो उनके डाउट्स क्लियर हो जाए तो बेटर है, यू नो उनको भी रियलिटी पता होनी चाहिए। एंड दैट्स व्हाट मुझे, मेरा सेटिस्फेक्शन है कि everybody once they leave this show, end of this show, they should be happy also यार, क्योंकि जवाब मिल गए हैं, उनको क्लैरिटी मिली है, उनके डाउट्स क्लियर हुए हैं। आई थिंक बिकॉज दैट्स हाउ आई वाज बैक इन 2011 2012। मैं फोरम्स में इंडियन फुटबॉल नेटवर्क फोरम है, मैं वहाँ सबसे ज़्यादा पोस्ट करता था। आज आई थिंक 3rd आ गया, 2nd आ गया था ऑल टाइम लिस्ट में, मैं इतना पोस्ट करता था वहाँ पे, एंड वेरी प्राउड ऑफ दैट फोरम। आई हैव मेट लॉट्स ऑफ ब्यूटीफुल पीपल ऑफ इंडियन फुटबॉल एट दैट टाइम 2011 2012। सारे यू टीम के फोरम्स में अपडेट करता था, स्टैट्स अपडेट करता था, प्लेयर स्टैट्स अपडेट करता था उस फोरम में while doing in college, you know, and that I did it just to improve my knowledge in Indian football and then learn from those veterans of Indian football and I inherit those information, you know, and मैं मरता था कि मैं कब नोवी सर से मिलूं, and you know the great Novi sir, and I think he will be very unhappy what's going in Indian football right now, but you know I wait for the conversation to meet these veterans whenever I can meet and learn from them, because I feel whatever we don't know enough, you know, and that's how this show was built upon. What are opinion on AFF on Igor? Is this time limited according to them? Yes. Why don't you call OSI and POI play Manpreet Sakaria, Danny Bath, Yan Dhanda, Dhyan, Aryan, Sarpreet Singh, and I think there is another guy, Sachdeva Sai, who is also playing in England. Ashish, if given chance, would you build 80k stadium or 4-5 small stadium, 20,000? If I'm an ISL club, maybe other than Mohun Bagan, East Bengal, Kerala Blaster, and maybe Northeast. If I'm an ISL club right now, I will build a stadium in a way, architecture in a way, it should be a 15,000 capacity stadium, state-to-the-art facility, which can be in future easily built upon, expanded upon to 70,000 capacity. I will build a 15,000. I am an ISL club right now. मुझे पैसा दे दे, जमीन दे दे, मैं 15,000 कैपेसिटी का स्टेडियम बनाऊंगा, football specific stadium, which in future can be expanded to 70,000. I will build a 15,000, you know, and make sure it's like a state-to-art facilities. It can be built. You can see what Real Madrid has done, what Tottenham has done. They build the stadium accordingly to host other events also. To build the state-to-art facilities, मैं पैसा बचा के वो state-to-art facilities में बना दूंगा, pitch retraceable pitch बना दूंगा, so that I can host concert and events and everything and earn money through it in for the clubs. But don't spend on the capacity of the stadium, because I don't think any club other than maybe Northeast, East Bengal, Mohun Bagan, Kerala Blaster can get more than 15,000 every game. They can get it for a few games, big games, but not every game. So I think I will save money and keep those money maybe and then build this stadium, campus around stadium, shops and everything, club shop खोलूंगा, cafeteria खोलूंगा. Thailand, every stadium, every training facility have a cafe where people just come to have coffee and just outside have the football pitch view. They have every club, every training facility have a shop to sell jerseys and everything, you know, and I think that's what I will do instead of building a big stadium, you know, because but make sure my architecture build is in a way that in future it can easily expand it to the 70,000. Guys, thank you very much. I think missing Bibiano. I hope he's doing well at the Bengaluru FC. I also miss him. Yan Dhanda interview is there in channel. You guys can check it out. Thank you very much to highlight. 100 episode. I don't think every episode is special for me यार, कोई different नहीं है. But देखते हैं, कुछ होगा तो करेंगे. यही तो बोल रहा हूँ, सब ऐसे साला स्टेडियम, बड़ा स्टेडियम बनाने का वेट करते हैं. इससे अच्छा 15 के स्टेडियम बनाओ, रेवेन्यू मिलेगा अच्छा. Future of Igor Stimac in Indian football should be good. I hope so. Hats off to dedication. OSI प्लेयर्स अच्छा तो यार इंडियन प्लेयर्स हैं, वो प्लेयर्स हायर टायर में भी हैं, जस्ट प्लेइंग लोअर डिवीजन इंडियन. पर सौरभ भाई, मैं आपसे एक बात जस्ट बोलना चाहता हूँ, 2-3 प्लेयर्स से ना हमारी टीम बहुत नेक्स्ट लेवल पे चली जाएगी. हमें 11 प्लेयर नहीं चाहिए, हमें 2-3 प्लेयर्स चाहिए इंपॉर्टेंट पोजीशन में, 2-3 प्लेयर्स, उससे हमारी टीम नेक्स्ट लेवल पे जा सकती है. हमें 11 POS प्लेयर नहीं चाहिए, 2-3 प्लेयर्स हु आर द नेक्स्ट लेवल ऑफ द इंडियन टीम. दिस टीम विल स्ट्रेट अवे विल चैलेंज फॉर द वर्ल्ड कप क्वालिफायर पोजीशंस. अनिरुद्धा कश्यप, स्टीमैच अपुया का डिटेल समझाया है भाई. अभी आपको वीडियो ऑफलाइन जा रहा है, जो मॉड्स है चैनल के वो आपको टाइम स्टैम्प डाल देंगे, आप देखो सुनो अपना आराम से. काफी डिटेल में मैंने समझाया है और बहुत डिटेल दी है उसके अंदर, और वो उसकी में गलती है पागल साइकोलॉजिस्ट की. सर जो मॉरिसन का पॉडकास्ट बुलाओ प्लीज. एक तो पॉडकास्ट पहला एपिसोड मॉरिसन के साथ ही किया था, दोबारा बुला सकते हैं, वो देखते हैं. भाई अपुया और सीमैक के साथ प्रॉब्लम का कुछ सॉल्व कर लेना चाहिए था, फॉर्म में भी फिल करने के लिए. अगर इंडियन टीम से बाहर ही हो जाए तो आई एम विजन आज भी बोतल बेच रहा होते. दैट्स अ वेरी गुड पॉइंट बैरिसन घोष. बहुत सही बात बोली है आपने कि आई एम विजन फुटबॉल खेलते ही नहीं अगर वो फॉर्म नहीं भर पाते तो. ये एक बहुत बड़ी बात आपने बोल दी. वो पढ़ने नहीं गया था अपुया वहां पे. ही इज देयर फॉर हिज फुटबॉल, नॉट फॉर हिज राइटिंग. एंड यू नेवर नो, मे बी ही इज नॉट कॉन्फिडेंस ऑफ हिज राइटिंग. मे बी ही इज नॉट कॉन्फिडेंस कि मैं ढंग से लिख पाऊंगा नहीं लिख पाऊंगा. मे बी इज मोर कंफर्टेबल व्हाइल स्पीकिंग. यू नेवर नो दिस काइंड ऑफ इश्यूज. एंड ये है हमारे प्लेयर्स के साथ यार. अब प्लेयर टाइम स्पेंड करो, पता है मैंने टाइम स्पेंड किया है इन बहुत सारे इन प्लेयरों के साथ. देयर इज अ व्लॉग ऑन दिस चैनल विद करंट इंडियन अंडर 17 टीम व्हिच वर इन थाईलैंड. पूरे व्लॉग्स हैं, वीडियोस हैं, आप जाके देखो ना. कितना कोशिश किया मैंने उनको कि नॉर्मल बात बोलने के लिए, वो नहीं बोलते हैं. तो वो चीजें last 2 foreign Chennai FC, Yuvraj Singh will update you very guys. Your prediction for the first week of games of ISL. Chalo, let's do the last thing, prediction for ISL, and then we wrap the show up. आज लंबा हो गया है काफी. Kerala Bengaluru FC, I think it will be draw 1-1. Hyderabad FC Goa, Manolo Marcus derby, I think it will be Goa 3-1. Let's do every week this prediction. Odisha Chennai FC, that's very interesting. I will go Odisha winning 2-1. Mohun Bagan Punjab FC, Mohun Bagan winning it 3-0. Northeast Mumbai City FC, I think it will be draw 1-1. And the last game I think of the game week is East Bengal Jamshedpur FC. Oh, that's surprising. I think East Bengal might win it 2-1. That's my prediction. Thank you very much for joining in, and we'll see you guys next week. I hopefully with more positive news, less controversies, and do watch the comment video which is pinned in the chat. It's also added in the description tab. It's about Thailand camp issue and details about with the AFF letters which is sent to the clubs. तो ठीक है. Thank you very much. Indonesia is regularly qualifying for the Asia Cup at all the age group tournament, by the way. They are going to leave India behind very soon. आज खत्म करो, मुझे पूरा लाइव देखना है और टाइम स्टेप डालने हैं, ज्यादा मत खींचो. चलो गाइस, थैंक यू वेरी मच. जस्ट हिट द लाइक बटन, कीप सब्सक्राइबिंग, कीप सपोर्टिंग इंडियन फुटबॉल इन अ पॉजिटिव वे. जस्ट डोंट टेक साइड ऑफ एनीवन, जस्ट सी द रियलिटी एंड then judge the reality. Just don't see the one side of the picture. Thank you. Video pin is not playing. I think it should play यार. Just let me see until it's not. भाई चल रहा है मेरा तो वीडियो यार. मैं देख लेता हूँ, कंफर्म कर लेता हूँ. 13 लोगों ने लाइक भी किया है, एक बंदे ने कमेंट भी कर दिया है, तो कुछ लोग तो गए ही हैं. मैं अगर ऐड आ रहा है स्किप कर लूँ, फिर आपको बताता हूँ. 14वां लाइक मैं दे देता हूँ. एक और ऐड दे दिया यूट्यूब ने. पैसे देते नहीं, ऐड देते रहते हैं. हमें मेरे चैनल पे, मतलब हमारे चैनल में हमें ऐड दिखाते हैं बस. मुझे लगता है लोगों को नहीं दिखाते बस. वीडियो चल रहा है भाई, बहुत 4K स्टाइल में वीडियो बनाया हुआ है. अंकुश सर ने एडिटिंग करी होगी. वीडियो चल रहा है. नेट ठीक करो. इट्स नॉट प्लेइंग. परवीन जी चल रहा है वीडियो, मैंने चला के देखा है भैया, वीडियो चलेगा. एक बार फिर देख लेता हूँ भाई, अगर आप कह रहे हो मैं दोबारा चेक कर लेता हूँ. बट आई थिंक लोगों ने चलाया है वीडियो यार, लोग गए थे. मैं अगर इनकॉग्निटो टैब पे भी चेक कर लेता हूँ, फिर वहाँ पे 2 ऐड देगा यूट्यूब. बिरयानी शाहरुख खान बिरयानी बेच रहे हैं. देखो थोड़ा 4K स्टाइल नहीं, वीडियो चल रहा है और 4K है. आप क्वालिटी ड्रॉप कर सकते हो अगर इंटरनेट नहीं है तो. आपको 4K में नहीं देखना, मतलब मेरी शक्ल 4K में देखनी हो, ठीक है आप चला सकते हो. Apuia put link in chat. Again, put in link is pinned and is added in description tab. Thank you very much. I will see you again next week on Thursday with the 100th episode of Inside Indian Football. Hopefully with a big milestone for this series and this channel. Hopefully there will be more positive news with the Asian Games and with the Indian national team camp. Thank you very much. I will see you again. Bye bye.